Welcome to the Split Line Off-Road Podcast.
Are you ready to go GNCC racing? Fans running to the fences, side by side. Forge gets a better line.
Oh boy, we got wheel to wheel right here, string. Oh, and Stu Baylor right behind him.
Russell gonna try to dive bomb down to the inside. No, can't get the line he wants. Duval is in control. We open back up. Here comes Neal once again. He's going for the pass. Oh, bumping going on.
What is going on, guys? Welcome to the Split Line Off-Road Podcast. As always, I'm your host, Rodney Cooper, and with me today, as always,
Brandon White here, guys. What is going on?
we got a awesome episode for you guys today, episode 075 coming at you. We got a special guest in studio, Jeff Harvey. Thanks for joining us, man. We appreciate you coming in. And we're going to be joined by Steve Harrell later on the show, and then Lane Mike will be coming on at the end of the show, talk a little bit about his return back to racing. But first and foremost, we got to thank our sponsors. We got to thank Guts Racing since 1985. They've been a leader in seat innovation and technology. If you want a good seat cover, you go to Guts. All right, Brandon?
Oh,
That's
yeah.
right.
That's what I run.
There's going to be a Guts seat cover given away tonight. You know why, Brandon?
Because we're awesome.
Because we're awesome. Because the fantasy was this weekend.
That's right.
And I just now got everything lined up to where we can read the stats out. So I thought, why post it earlier today? We should just wait for the show.
So you're telling me I won, right?
I'm telling you, you got third.
Oh, okay.
You got third place this weekend. So a little sneak peek to that. So be staying tuned for that. We're going to announce that here in just a little bit. Seal Savers, the first and original fork guard protection. If you want protection for your forks, for your dirt bike, for your mountain bike, for your ATV, for those coils, save the seals with Seal Savers.
Save everything.
You can save everything for 25% off anything at sealsavers.com. Already affordable products. Why not?
Yep.
Hey, we got to talk about Mason because Mason crapped the bed in the fantasy.
Did he?
He led all season long and ended up finishing second.
Oh.
Yep. So we got to talk about that. Sunstar chain and sprockets. Brandon, what are they made of?
Case hardened steel, man.
They are made of case hardened steel, and they are the best in the business.
That's right.
If you want 30% off, go to their website, use the discount code SPLITLINE30.
Yep.
And you can save 30% by using that and get yourself set up with the best in the business. And then we got to thank XC Gear.
Yep.
XC Gear just came on board not too long ago. We are happy to have them. They have the Mako 360, the Hammerhead 360. They got the spurs for your foot pegs, and they are top of the line.
Yep. Makos, you can get them
clamps.
for bike or quad.
Bike or quad. We'll be giving one of those away next week.
Yeah.
We'll be giving one of those
Can you
next
believe that,
week.
Jeff? Giving a Mako 360 away. Just give it away.
Just giving it away.
Wow.
All you gotta do is play our fantasy.
You don't even have to win.
No,
You don't even have to win. You don't have to be good at it.
play to enter.
Just play. Just play. So
All
if
right.
you don't play, you're kind of crazy, right?
right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it makes more work for me because I got to type in everybody's teams right now until we get the website up and running. That's Tom's job, though.
Right.
That's the behind the scenes guy. But as soon as that happens, we will be good to go. And then once you get all that stuff on your bike, go to Mountain State Hare Scramble and race the great series that they have put on. Richie Nolan has a great series. Jeff, you've raced the series a bunch.
Yep.
They are top of the notch crew, and they put on great technical tracks that test your skills, and they're fun to be at for sure.
If you usually want to see Adam McGill, he's usually out there. So
He's usually out there, just
If you just
giving
wanna go watch the
everybody
gator.
giving everybody a butt spanking.
That's right.
Absolutely.
So, hey Jeff, if you want to come a little bit closer to that mic,
There you go. I
that
know.
mic's not one
We
of our
gotta get
good
you.
ones.
We gotta
so-
get a boom.
Yeah, we got to get a boom for you. So, Jeff,
So once you get a boom, I'll come back.
that's
right.
right. Thanks for coming into the show, man. We appreciate it.
Absolutely, man. Thanks for having me, man. It's great to be here representing, of course, Hardcore Harvey
Yep.
Motorsports
Yep.
and Hardcore Nation out there, and help kind of spread the word with racing with you guys and mix it up with you guys tonight. So we're looking forward to it, man.
Yeah, absolutely. Those of you guys that don't know, make sure you check out Jeff's podcast live show on Facebook. He does Life Behind the Pros. He talks to mostly a lot of the guys that are behind the pros, and then some pros as well. So it's a really great show directed towards all ATV racing.
Yep.
GNCC. You do a lot of New East Coast. You actually live stream those races as well, the New East Coast races.
So this year we tried to where we could go out, at least for the micro and the youth race, put enough technical equipment together to where we could put some type of live stream together for the kids. And we've had 2 really successful versions of that. One, we had a lot of trouble, it didn't go so well, but it's been tremendous to see just the excitement in the kids knowing that they're live. They come off the track. We're doing live interviews with the podium guys as soon as they take their helmets off, just like the GNCC pros.
Yeah.
And it's been great for the parents. It's been great for the kids. You know, they're excited to get that opportunity. And, you know, the kids don't know if there's only 20 people watching,
right?
But I mean, for them, it's that opportunity to kind of get a taste of what the next level is really like.
Right. Yeah. And it also helps like probably grandma and grandpa that can't make it to the track and watch,
Actually we've gotten during the live streams, I get messages in the middle of it saying, hey, thank you. Now we know that so-and-so's safe and they're okay. And we saw them come by. And
yeah.
So absolutely the families who can't make it there, it's been a tool for them to use. Had a couple moms who had to work. So they were at work. They were at work and they had the live stream on at work.
That's cool.
Yes, we're hoping that'll grow, but again, that's a little bit. Some of our boundaries there is just tech.
Yeah. And then also you're doing that and then racing as well on the same day. So that makes it tough.
So Ronnie Paul actually has had to hold the start a few minutes for me a couple times because we're also doing the Kenda Kids podium for the micro and the youth races. And then we're trying to get dressed and get the quad ready and get down the line. So he's down there like this. I'm flying down, I'm riding down over the hill trying to get to the start line. And I know
jersey hanging half off.
Yeah, I know we'll get there. And he's like 10 seconds. Let's go.
So how's your racing season been going this year?
We had we really came into 2022 with kind of flying high, with a lot of anticipation of being able to mix it up for the Masters 50+ championship. And actually, we're doing real well in round 1. We had worked our way up into second place, and we weren't too far off the leader. And I'll take credit if I hit something and make a boo-boo. It's on me. That's my I still to this moment don't know what was in the track, but it caught my right front tire and catapulted me and the bike down the track, broke 4 ribs, collapsed my lung. So that's been our worst injury of our career. And to be honest, it's been tough. Like the comeback trail has not been what I anticipated.
Yeah, no, that's a rough one for sure. I'm the lung is kind of the scary part, right?
Yeah. So basically, not to get too far in the weeds with it, but the way my doctor explained it was my rib cage kind of healed from the inside out, not the outside in, and I have more scar tissue on the inside of my rib cage than the outside.
Okay.
So the more I breathe heavy, the more irritated my lung gets, the harder it is to breathe.
Yeah.
So we've had a couple races where we've been running real well the first couple laps, and then the rib starts acting up and the breathing. If you can't breathe, you can't race.
I was going to say, breathing's not that important,
right? Yeah. So, but no, I just said on our show last night that at the Hoosier, probably the first time since round 1 that we felt like we were on the pace.
Yeah.
For 3.5 of the 5 laps, and we just kind of, some of it was just fatigue, but then we also had a couple situations where we had some riders that truly just got jacked up in front of us. And the ruts were so bad at the Hoosier there by the time we got to laps 4 and 5 that if you didn't have like a sprocket guard type of rear end, you were high centering everywhere.
Oh.
So then you get folks who, and no fault of theirs, but you get folks, or you get a young lady who gets hung up. They're just not strong enough to get their own quad out of the way. So you get off, you help them. And if you guys are like me, that zaps you right there.
Oh yeah.
Anytime your feet step off of the quad, it is a game changer. I remember telling Brandon a couple of years back, I raced at High Point, and I got stuck going down a downhill, and I had to push the bike uphill, and I swear my heart rate never came back down from that point.
Yeah. Nope.
Just stalling a bike sometimes will get you. It's like,
yeah.
Especially if you have to kick it.
Yeah. Absolutely.
So there was a lot of racing going on this weekend. We need to jump into a little bit of our fantasy. We have a couple of Supercross fantasy leagues that we also kind of host as well, which is always fun. Did you watch any of the Supercross this past weekend?
I did not. But I do follow your guys' fantasy stuff. I don't. It's a little more tech. It's a little more tech savvy than I'm. But no, I watch it. It's awesome.
Well, we appreciate that. It gets frustrating sometimes, and the more frustrating it is for the people that play, the better, because that means like we want it to be a love-hate relationship for them.
Well, I think you nailed it.
Yeah, exactly. And sometimes I hate it as well.
Right.
So, Brandon,
Rocky Mountain.
well, let's just talk real quick.
Okay.
What did you take out of this weekend Supercross?
Jason Anderson's the man right now.
Oh, did Jason Anderson even race? I wasn't even paying attention to anything above third place. I was like, didn't really care about.
And Barsha's just.
There were some fireworks that went on this
weekend. I don't know. You probably saw a bunch of YouTube clips or Instagram clips or Facebook clips of Justin Barsha just cleaning Malcolm Stewart out.
Yeah.
That was insane.
I've not heard a crowd boo like that since Ferrandis. Ferrandis took Craig out.
Yeah, that's what it reminded me of.
Yeah, when Ferrandis took Jagger Craig's dad out, it was rough.
Yeah. And Bam was just like, guys, I'm racing for money. What do you want?
Hey, just a real quick take on it. Bam Bam takes a lot of people out. My thing is if you're going to do it, at least own it, right? He did
own it all the time.
No. I'm saying he's never owned it before. And that's the problem that I had.
Right.
So at least this time he said, yeah, I did it. And this is who I am.
Yeah.
Okay. That's fine.
Well, next time he'll do it like, dude, that was a good pass.
We didn't mean to do it. No. Since he owned it, I was good with it.
Yeah.
And so what about the Rocky Mountain Fantasy?
Rocky Mountain Fantasy real quick. We'll get into that. B. Moretto takes the victory. Man, him and Jeremy DeWitt had a heck of a battle all year in that group.
We gotta get a T-shirt out to him.
6 points separating the top two.
So T-shirt coming his way.
And then Big Ben in third.
Hey, what's his name again? Who won?
B. Moretto.
B. Moretto. Message us and give us your information so we can get you the T-shirt and maybe a couple extra prizes in that package. So over on the pulp side, GNCC 62243 took the win.
Is that his girlfriend or is that him?
I don't know. There's a guy in our leagues, and I'm pretty sure he uses his girlfriend to have double teams in.
Yeah.
So
supposedly he says that she picks better than him.
Yeah.
And like she's been kicking butt.
Sure.
Hey, that's true because we do that too. And my son's girlfriend also picks, and she spanked his butt. She spanked his butt twice now. So, and she's like, "No, I'm picking. It's not him."
Hey, in our fantasy league, another little sneak peek to the GNCC fantasy for us. My wife finished 5th this weekend, and I finished in 19th. Yeah. So
it's all about the cuteness of the gear and how good they look and the bike collar.
It's not about how good they look. Damn.
It is. When it comes to women, you know.
Yeah, my wife picks based on their names. Like if she likes.
Yeah. That's how they do it. They're like, oh well, his gear match is good today, so we're going to pick him, or he's got a cool name. Like
the guy that built our fantasy spreadsheet for us. He doesn't know anything about GNCC, but he's like a fan of like kind of watching it as a new thing for him. And he picked a lot of the dirt bike guys as like, cause he was like, I don't know anything about them. So that name sounds cool.
Yeah.
So,
but there's not very many dirt bike guys left.
Right.
No, I mean, well, that's the crazy thing because we do off of a top 20.
Okay.
So the further down people are, like if they're usually a top 30 guy, anything outside the top 20 is a 22 handicap, which means you can get huge points. So
there's big moves.
There's huge points going on in the dirt bike. The ATVs are kind of status quo, but the dirt bikes are pretty wild right now. But GNCC, he took the win, and he ended up taking the win in the championship as well. Jalen got second this weekend. RJ 255 got third. Mm-hmm. Now we know that he must be having Leah pick because there's no way that RJ is doing that good. Dark Side MX, he took fourth, and Walker Taylor took fifth. And then the overall for the series, we got to make sure. GNCC 62243. Oh, it's another one. Oh, okay. That's a different person. There's just all different numbers.
Kinds of numbers.
He won the series. Mason Mill took second, and Marty took third. So congratulations to you guys. We're gonna be giving T-shirts out to a few of you guys, and thanks for playing this year.
Yep.
But for the major fantasy, that's our fantasy
most important
one. Billy. Wait a second. I'm going to make sure I say this right.
Make sure you say it right.
Make sure I say it right. Yeah. Billy Bebot He won.
There you go. Billy B.
Do you know him?
No,
Oh.
sounds like a boy band.
That's
It
right.
does. It does. He won this week, so he
Billy
gets the
B-ball.
Guts Racing seat cover. Billy, I'll be messaging you and getting you that
Nice.
Guts seat
Yeah.
cover.
Nice.
And also, he had the most points out of any week so far with
Yeah.
205 points.
Am I still in the lead, like overall?
Oh, yeah, you're still in the
Okay.
lead. Don't
Okay.
worry. Cody Bosek, he finished second with 189 points. Brandon, you finished third with 170 points. Closely behind Brittany Cooper, my wife, finished 167 points. And Rylan Fowler finished 163 points. And I think we had 83 people play this week. So,
Nice.
yeah, thank you guys all for playing. Brandon, you're still in the lead overall. Billy Bebot has
What?
jumped his way into second
Oh,
with that stellar lead, or with
much?
that week, that stellar week he had. He's only 20 points behind you, and William 316 is in third.
we'll have to start talking to some guys, see what they give me some downloads.
Yeah,
Well, so you're on podium this week, and then you're still in the points lead overall.
That's right.
yeah.
On some right, man.
That's right, man.
Yeah, consistent.
Everybody thought the first week we ever did it, like I won by like, I won pretty big, didn't I, the first week? And everybody's like, oh, he cheated. He cheated.
Yeah, exactly. So, hey, I want to say a shout out to Damian Hawkins. Thanks for joining us. He says hashtag Hardcore Nation. So,
Attaboy. Thanks, David.
Jeff's crew's representing.
Yep.
Right.
So let's just jump right into this week in Indiana for the Hoosier. Once again, the battle up front for the ATVs was
Man.
wild.
Absolutely. So I don't know if you guys remember, or maybe we were talking about this, is we got the chance to go into the booth with Mikey Waynes
Mhm.
and be part of GNCC Live this weekend. And man, what an experience.
Yeah.
The technology they have is impressive.
It's a little bit bigger than this, right?
I mean, it's like this whole room.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Oh, I mean, I thought it was, would be cool.
Yeah.
But I had no way
Yeah.
to know what I was walking into in terms of what the ability they have. And, but no, man, the battle up front, it's just unbelievable. We were talking to Bryson last night, and it's just like, for whatever reason, and this is not saying that any other person can at any given Saturday be right
Right.
there, but for right now, these two guys have separated themselves. And it's like there's that race, and then there's the rest of the race.
Yeah.
It's like it's battling for third place right now, and kind of joked with Bryson last night about, feel like between Bryson and Walker, the first guy to finish off the podium loses the championship.
Right.
Like
Yeah.
that's going to be the difference.
Yeah.
And
And it seems like in years past, Walker has had the upper hand in making Bryson make a couple mistakes.
Yep.
And Walker's been making the mistakes. I think he landed on his head twice, he said,
Yep.
in that race. So maybe the pressure's getting to Walker a little bit.
Well, if you rewind to 2021, before Bryson got hurt, there was a couple races that we were in the pro pits there and just kind of watching things unfold. And Bryson, you could tell at any moment had the speed to take the lead, but chose not to.
Mhm.
Like he just wanted, I don't know whether he was trying to learn a little bit
Mhm.
from Walker or just kind of sit there and pull a Chris Borich type of deal. But I think it started building last year that Bryson knew that he had the speed to not only be up front, but also contend for championship. And then, of course, he had that freak accident at last year's John Penton.
Yeah.
But we focused last night a lot on just how he used that time in the offseason to just kind of reset mentally, and his mental attitude and mental toughness over the winter was something he focused last night on in his interview was impressive. I mean, he said he would try to watch the races and he'd just get pissed.
Yeah.
And he would go work out.
Yeah.
Or he would go work on the bike.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We talked to him after his first win this season, and we talked about, Bryson, like when you walked into this season, he looked like he walked out of a cave where there was nothing but just weights and a treadmill.
Yep.
And
Yeah, because I mean, he had the scruff.
Yeah,
he had the
scruff
scruff
beard.
going.
I'm going to be the first one to admit I was wrong. I said that he had to keep the beard the whole year to keep going because it looked ridiculously cool. And
Right.
like, he just looked like a bad dude.
Right.
And so he shaved the beard off and he's still got the speed. And like you guys said, he's pushing Walker. They're pushing each other, and they're pushing each other so far past the rest of the competition that it really has become a two-horse race.
Mhm.
And like you said, the first person to finish off the podium could be the potential deciding factor for this championship. And when it's just, two guys going back and forth, we reference a lot of this to ATV motocross as well.
Sure.
And you look at the ATV motocross side, and it's Hetrick and Wienen, and And this year, Hetrick has really been able to, he's won every single moto so far, but usually it's one of those things that if you're not winning, then you're going to lose the championship.
Right.
And that's kind of what it's turned into here on the GNCC side.
Well, in fact, last night, I mean, Bryson was telling us that his biggest concern right now is he does have a third.
Right.
Yeah.
And that he's scared to death that that's going to be the thing that haunts him,
him.
is that one moment where, he didn't finish in the top two and alternate with Walker on wins and second places, that could be the difference.
Right. Yeah, it could be very.
I mean,
It's what's crazy to me is watching the race on TV. Bryson out front, but you see Walker coming up Iron Man Hill right there and taking an outside line, like literally like jumping up it, like hauling, like doesn't even look like he's off a beat, but somehow Bryson's still pulling on him all these times. It's like, man, how much faster do you have to go to even run that pace?
It's become, we've talked about this as well too, it's become a scary pace.
oh,
And it's no longer like, let's just let's ride our bikes and then we're going to push the last lap. It is a full out sprint from the moment the green flag drops. And usually for Bryson, I have to hurry up and catch up the first 5 or 6 miles because I'm already behind, because Walker is.
oh, he's a starting king.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, Walker must be able to see the future or something because because he knows exactly when that flag's going to drop, and he is. I mean,
Right.
it's almost like, see, we've thought about like with our fantasy putting in like a whole shot, but it's because of Walker that we
Walker,
can't.
Walker.
Yeah, we
Walker. That's
can't.
why we didn't do it yet.
We can't do it. So
Although listen at the second big buck, the Gator snuck a whole shot in there.
Yeah,
he did.
Yeah.
He did.
And
Yeah.
I think doesn't who else has one this year? Somebody else has one.
Maybe,
Hunter
yeah.
Hart.
Hunter
Hunter Hart has
Hart,
one this year.
Yeah.
Yep.
But I mean, my biggest thing is thinking about how much pressure is on these mechanics right now that are working on these bikes,
Mhm.
because if there's a failure, like a mechanical failure, oh man, those guys are gonna be like, I don't want to
So
do this.
So go back to that, because right off the bat, flying high coming into this season, Hunter Hart in the number 2 spot, right out of the gates when talking to him, he said, we've never in all of our years running had that mechanical failure. It's not even something you know how to prep for.
Yeah.
And right there,
Yeah.
he talked about the mental impact of just coming out and having a DNF right off the bat. And he also talked about we're talking about the pace.
Yeah.
And he said, there is no more Chris Borich style of racing.
Yeah.
Like, where you settle in, you run a good solid pace, and then the last lap, everybody's dicing it up.
Yeah.
He says, if you're not running on the ragged edge from the very first second, he said, you're out of it.
Yeah. And that style of racing, kind of going to the life behind the pros, that style of racing, has it not trickled down to every class?
Amen, brother, because absolutely.
Yeah.
Used to be able to kind of come in and run a good pace, and then, the top 3 guys would kind of mix it up. It's the same thing. Like there's a couple guys in our class that they're running balls to the wall from the get-go.
It has started from Walker started it and then has went through the entire series.
Right.
So the thing is, I mean, now used to you could be a good technical rider, and you could do real well, and you didn't have to be in maybe peak shape. If you're not in peak shape now, you're racing for 4th, 5th place.
I don't know how people do it each and every week with working jobs and trying to hit the gym and getting ride time, and it's like, man, where do we have time to do anything else? But
you don't. It's like, if you're going to be seriously competitive, you might as well accept it's a full-time job.
Yeah.
Like kind of like these shows.
Yeah.
Right? It's kind of another job.
They've turned it into a full-time job.
It is a full-time job.
But real quick, before we get off this subject, I want to touch on something. We brought up the fact of the mechanics having a tough job. And it really leads me to believe that, we've talked about it before, that with Bryson going to the Magnum One Sports program, it kind of leads me to think that has put an extra added bit of confidence in his corner, knowing the bike is a little bit stronger, a little bit more prepared. Whereas before it was him and his dad, and that's a hard job for just 2 guys to do. And the one guy is the rider.
Yeah, 100%. Because he also talked about that, nature of his dad's job is his dad leaves on Sunday. He's not back off the road till Thursday.
Right.
So, that a lot was falling on him to prep. And then he mentioned that exact thing about how big of a difference it had made having this type of support and his shot guy. He kept going back to his shot guy. So whatever that guy's doing, Bryson really likes it right now.
Right.
Yeah, that's the
So-
Impact Solutions
Yeah.
guy.
Yes.
Casey.
Yep.
Yes. Yeah.
So what tracks do you think that Walker is going to have the upper hand on Bryson right now? You thinking it's more of like a technical track like Snowshoe and Beckley? I mean, that's what I'm kind of thinking. I don't know what you guys think.
I think, next week we go to John Penton, and that's Bryson's house.
Well, listen, that's going to be interesting
Yeah.
because before it became Bryson's house, it was
Walker's house.
yeah.
Well, then again, what track wasn't Walker's house?
Yeah, that's true. But he always did real well there because I think, of course, both of them feel like that's a home race for them.
Right.
And, but yeah, I mean, but Bryson has a little bit different edge going in because he says, I got a score to settle with the track because that's where I got hurt, and I didn't get to finish there like I thought I could. So
Yeah.
Right.
he's got a little extra motivation in the bag that has nothing to do with Walker Fowler.
Right. Yeah, I tell you, that's the biggest thing is what's Walker's mindset right now. I wish I could talk to him just for a second, just be like, where are you at? And him be honest with me. But I don't know if he's getting nervous or if you know what I mean? I know he's not ready to pass the torch yet.
Yeah.
So
No, he's definitely not ready to pass the torch yet. I mean, when he's been on the show before, he's talked about 10 championships, talked about 100 wins.
Yep.
Those are still things that he believes, and I believe that he still could achieve.
Right.
I mean, this is Walker Fowler.
Right.
He is the 8-time defending champ, or 7. Is it 8? 7 or 8? Seven.
Yeah.
Getting ahead of myself.
Yeah.
He is a 7-time defending champ for a reason, and that's because he's been able to put the complete seasons together, and nobody else has up until maybe now.
And if you look at the history of ATV racing, at least nationally, there's always something that causes some guy to decide they're going to take it to the next level, whether it's just more commitment, more time, whatever. And it's like Bryson has done that.
Mhm.
What I look to see now is look to see Walker respond
Mhm.
Right.
and go back to the drawing board and say, okay, what do I have to do initially now? And then I still say, watching these guys, that at some point, Hunter Hart's going to get in the mix.
Mhm.
Devin Feehan's going to get in the mix.
Yeah.
And I'm telling John Glotta is, if you've been paying attention, he's the one sneaking up through the pack and has decided that he is able to run up there.
Yeah.
Right. Well, I mean, he should have really had the third place this weekend in Sun McClure. I mean, Jared McClure rode really well. I'm not going to take him.
Sneaky snake for a reason.
Yeah. He it's funny. I think he snuck between you guys on the Racer TV.
We thought he broke down because we lost him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So that's the funny thing about that.
Yeah.
But I mean, him and I think John Glotta put it on there that, him and McClure battled pretty close all race. So he said he got one slip away there. So, I mean, he's really good. And dude, he has an awesome riding style too. I really like his riding style.
One of the smoothest.
And he rides a Honda. So let's not forget that.
There's nothing that looks better than a Honda.
Absolutely.
With a little bit of style attached to it.
100%.
And that's what John Glotta Jr. is. That's for sure. Scotty Brapp says there is no time for being out of shape nowadays. And that is a fact. That's what we've been talking about.
Is that Big Country, Scotty?
Maybe.
Yeah.
I'm not sure. Scotty Brapp is his name.
Big Country.
And then we have Jimmy Bortz and Larry Mells both said hi. Thanks, guys, for watching. We appreciate you guys and being on here.
So quick shout out to Jimmy Bortz. If you guys don't know, he's the guy that's doing the wiring harnesses.
Oh,
he's building the wiring. He's actually going to be on our show next week.
Oh, very cool.
Doing a little tech talk about what he brings to the table.
Which wires not to cut?
Yeah. No, I've seen his stuff before, and it's very, very clean.
Absolutely.
If it's on a Michael Lancaster bike, then it's good enough.
Good stuff.
It's good enough for me. Yeah. So, hey, so we need to talk a little bit about XC2 because we're going to be having Scott Harrell or Stephen Harrell on. Stephen Harrell on, and what a breakout year he's had this year.
Yeah,
it's like year 2 though, right? This is only his second year.
I think so.
Sure,
running XC2. He's already in the mix.
I didn't even know really didn't know about him until this year.
Yeah, I did not know about him until Devin Masters picked him for fantasy, and I was like, who is this guy? And he was like, trust me. And I was like, okay. And then he was our round 1 overall points winner of the week. So he's had a really breakout year, and he's consistently, like, no matter what handicap we give him, he's beating the point system
every
and
time.
getting, I mean, he's riding outstanding.
Right.
And he's a podium contender every single race this year.
Right.
In a very tough class to be in now.
Oh man, absolutely.
Especially with Jay Shadron.
Oh, Jay Shad, man.
Man, he's
on rails right
He is on
and then,
rails.
of course, Brandon Owens also right there behind Jay Shad. had.
Mhm.
And honestly, at the Hoosier, I thought those two it was going to be much more, they were going to mix it up because the first 2 laps, B. Owens was on the tailpipe, man.
Yeah.
And then, again, I think Jay Shad just has another, just kind of like Bryson, for at a certain point, just has a little bit of extra somewhere.
Extra in the tank.
But this guy you're going to talk to, he's coming.
Yeah, he's coming, and
he's learning.
And he's learning.
Absolutely.
And we've always talked about how when you can see the rear grab bar of another rider, how much motivation is that, and how much pace can you push with that?
It's like that commercial with the dollar, that guy with the insurance. He's like, "You want the dollar?" It's like, "Come get it." Give it.
Instant adrenaline rush.
Yeah, exactly. So let's go ahead and get him on the phone and see how he feels about his season so far.
You know what's good too is he's a Kenda guy.
He is a Kenda guy.
Okay, buddy. Yes, sir.
See, I didn't do my research. I should have. I don't know if he's a
any of those
Sunstar
guys.
or Hello?
Hello?
Hey, Steve.
Yep.
Hey, it's Cooper and Brandon from the Split Line Show. We got Jeff Harvey in. How's it going, man?
It's going good, man. Nice to meet you.
Hey, nice to meet you, man. We're throwing you right in on the live show. We appreciate you coming on. Man, you've had a outstanding season this year. We were just talking about how, take no offense to it, but we honestly did not know your name before this season. And then now it is every single race we are hearing about how well you did and how great of a season you're having this year.
Yeah, it was a big step up, from college A. XC2 is no joke. All these guys are very quick. So, you make a mistake and, I can take you out the race.
No, is this your first year in XC1 or XC2, or is it your second?
Yeah, it's my first year.
First year.
That's right.
Okay.
Yeah.
First year.
Man, so you're coming out swinging, man.
Holy man.
You're coming out swinging.
Yeah, last year I won the A-class title and then moved up to XC2.
Okay.
So
I like it.
we're having fun so far.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, it definitely looks like it. You've been killing it in our fantasy this year. I want to tell you, you're probably the biggest pick trend each and every week. People are feeling pretty safe picking you each and every week on our fantasy because you're scoring consistently high points over there.
Yeah, that's awesome, man.
No pressure, man. No
pressure.
pressure.
No pressure at all.
Yeah.
No pressure at all going into the next round. So take us through this year. You made the jump, and whether it be from A class to XC2 or from XC2 to XC1, everybody always says, guys, it's different when you get there. How different was it when you got there, and how do you feel like now that you've been in it for 6+ rounds? Do you feel like you belong? I mean, obviously you do belong, but how do you feel about that?
Honestly, it's definitely a whole nother tempo. I mean, with these XC2 guys, I think, a lot of us are young. So we all got a lot of freaking energy, off that get-go. That first lap that's everything. And I'm still even trying to find it, you know what I mean? And the jump from college A, it's next level because, the college A kids are quick, but these XC2 people, man, I mean, it's the experience. Like these guys really have that experience. You can gain a lot of knowledge. And it's a whole nother ball game. I mean, I consider this definitely a semi-pro class. These guys are good.
So,
no doubt.
So Steve, this is Hardcore Harvey, man. First of all, appreciate you being a fellow Kenda brother, representing the Kenda tires. What do you?
Nice to meet you.
Hey, what do you think you've learned so far in XC2, kind of being behind B. Owens and Jay Shad and the other guys that you're talking about? What's been the biggest learning curve, or the thing you feel like you've gained the most in the first 6 rounds?
Be smooth. That's, I think, a huge thing. Jay Shadron's so smooth. Brandon Owens is smooth. Wyatt's freaking fast. I mean, flat out balls to the walls. Honestly, what I've learned is really to be smooth and, not to make mistakes. If you make mistakes with these guys, you're done. I mean, we're all so freaking close in speed. You make a mistake, you're out. But, one of us has to find that next gear, to get Jay. 'cause
Well,
he's good.
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, when you're racing Jay, you're racing a pro. You're racing somebody that has done it at the highest level, taken a step away from the sport, came back, and is now kind of, I guess, I would say picking up where he left off, but he kind of looks even a little bit better than he ever has before.
Hey guys, let's keep in mind that for 2 races, Jay Shad was leading the overall on adjusted time after lap 1.
Right.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah. So, I mean, you take him out of the equation, and you're right there battling for first XC2 championship right now. So, dude, I mean, we were discussing before you came on that we thought maybe it was your second year in XC2, but being your first year in XC2, I mean, you're putting a resume together, brother.
Oh man.
Yeah, honestly, this is only my second full year racing.
Wow.
That's what it was. 2 years.
Second full. Yeah. Okay, so wait a second. We're not just going to walk over that.
Wrap your mind around that.
So racing the GNCC or racing altogether?
So basically, I started, I think it was before last. So I guess I've only been in it 2 full years. So I did half of a season 2 seasons ago. So I think that was 19 or 20. I did half a season.
2.5 years.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Well, hey, 2.5 years. We'll just brush over that then. Then you got a full resume, dude. Okay, so.
Then last year was my first full year in A class. I did that. I went to C my first year. Then I went to A class, and then I won the championship the following year.
You probably got protested like crazy in C class, didn't you?
Oh my gosh! Everyone was hating on me. Everyone
lapped the field.
I was like, I just started racing. I don't know.
You're like, what's a protest?
Oh man.
So I'm just
going out there having fun?
No doubt, man. So did you grow up around the racing scene? How'd you get into this? This is a big story here. I'm really curious.
Yeah. So this is a good story. My dad, he never really rode. He's 60 now, and he started riding when he was like 30. Had me about, he was like 40, and I basically grew up on a bike. I mean, he rode me everywhere when I was a little baby. I was always on the quad with him. But we never raced. He never raced or nothing. But his friend was real big in the GNCC, and I always watched them. He, always had trophies in the shop, and I just rode all the time. His kids, he had a couple of sons, and we just rode all the time when I was young. I mean, I started when I was probably like 3 or 4. And my dad, I basically grew up on a bike. I never had nothing special. I just had stock bikes my whole life. And I didn't really ride that much, in high school. I just graduated. I, rode for fun. And then COVID hit, and if it weren't for COVID, I would have never started racing. I was big into wrestling. That was my main sport. I was trying to win Maryland State Championship, and COVID stripped my senior year from me, so I lost my chance. And if it weren't for COVID, I would have never started racing.
That's wild. So, I mean, state championship caliber wrestler. I mean, we're just talking about an athlete here now.
Yeah.
Now we're starting to put the puzzle pieces together, and it kind of brings me to interesting little snippet right now. Over the ATV MX side, there is a wrestler trainer that is a trainer for the ATV motocross guys. So, wrestling and racing an ATV kind of have a lot in common.
You got to wrestle a beast.
You got to wrestle a beast, yeah. And sometimes these are more unpredictable than other people. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
I truly believe, I had a great high school coach growing up. He coached me throughout my whole life, honestly. And I'll tell you what, if you can work out like a wrestler, that's hard to beat. I mean, those workouts will get you in shape, and they work your whole body. Mm-hmm. Same with racing. It's the same concept. But it's so intense, just like racing, and it's physical, and it helps so much.
So what you're saying is we should I still can't wrap my head around this. I mean, we've been racing for what, 10 years?
Yeah, that's the thing. Like you're over here talking, Steve, and you're making all three of us feel bad
Really bad.
because we were chasing the dream, and we kind of still are chasing the dream for a long time, and to hear you come, just 2.5 years, I'm gonna,
Yeah.
I mean, how long you been doing it, Jeff?
I started this in 1993.
On a 3-wheeler.
87 250X, baby.
Oh, there you go. Yeah. Oh, shoot.
At least you got to go 3 wheels. I've never done that.
Oh, shoot, man.
Yeah, I mean, at this point, like I'm kind of worried about Bryson Walker
Right.
in the near future.
Like I'm about to hang my gear up and my boots up.
Yeah. Good night. We'll just start watching.
This awesome. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Man.
We
Yeah,
haven't.
I mean, go ahead.
No, go ahead. Go ahead. I'll let you finish. I'm sorry.
Them boys are putting on a show, man.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
It's exciting to see that.
Yeah, it really
I'm
is.
really
It really is exciting for sure. And we talked about towards the beginning of the show how their pace has trickled down through all of the ranks of racing, and it's just wild for us because we all the three of us have been around long enough to see that transition from the style of racing that once was to what it is now. Something that you probably really didn't see, and you just jumped into this and I mean, you're racing people that have been racing the series since they were in diapers, pretty much.
Yep. Absolutely.
Yeah.
I like how we're talking about like Bryson and Walker, like they're old.
Right.
Like, I mean,
Yeah.
I mean, we're talking about all these young guys like Bryson and Walker are old.
Oh, right.
I mean,
They're not that old. They're not that old.
They're not that old,
No,
but
Especially in ATV GNCC racing years.
yeah.
yeah. I mean, both of those guys were racing in the youth classes.
Absolutely.
You don't see somebody doing what Steve is doing that didn't race in the youth
Oh,
classes.
it's
I
unbelievable.
can't think of anybody.
No, it's unbelievable. Absolutely.
So who's like, are you doing your own bike prep, or who's helping you with your bike prep?
So Rich Hetrick, I met him my first year of racing, and his mechanic, he's got a guy that works for him. His name's Brandon, and he does all my motor work. He did Jules when he won the USA Exxon thing, or whatever you call it.
Yeah.
When he won his first championship. So that's the guy that works on my motors.
Okay.
And I prep all my bikes myself.
Oh, okay. Yeah. That's cool.
I do everything but motors, and
So I mean,
try and,
have you been like, did you just pick that up when you started racing like 2 years ago, like working on stuff, or have you been working on your stuff the whole, like since you've been riding, or?
honestly, kind of. My whole life, my dad always, had me out there with him. But I really just kind of taught myself. I didn't really have a choice. You know how
Right.
father-son arguments get.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
I've had a bunch of those.
Yeah, same here.
If you want to race, fix it.
Yeah.
Yep. I was like, you know what? I'll figure it out. So that's what I did, and it's working right now. Work on wood. So
Yeah.
I feel confident. I mean, I've learned a lot. Hannah Hunter, her father, I try and pick up on stuff, with their program, because, Jared helped them a lot, and I just kind of try and figure out when I should change this and that. And right now I got a good regiment going, and it's working for me.
Yeah.
So you are out of Maryland, correct?
Yeah. Yep.
Okay. We have a question that came in from Leslie Delabar. Where do you train and practice at? It looks like she's also from Maryland as well.
Yeah, so I have a couple places near my house that I ride, but mainly I go ride up with Hannah up in New Jersey. I go there's some places in Reading with it's good terrain to train in with all the coal and stuff. It's real rough. Around where I live, there's not much to ride. Like, I know that's why they're asking. because there really isn't. They're building so much around me, so I got to go to Myersville. That's Justin Miller. He races Junior A, and Bobby Duker. And we go ride at their place. He has a buddy that he's got like 100 acres, and they have a really nice loop. And I go there, and it's real rough. And that's really where I go and train. It's right near Budds Creek, if you know where that is.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Oh, yeah. So you're about 6 hours away from us. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you got a haul. We are in north central West Virginia area.
30
High Point.
Yeah, 45 minutes from
High
High
Point.
Point.
There we
Yep.
go.
I got you.
Yeah. I was getting ready to ask you. I didn't really know you were that far in the Maryland. I was going to ask if you ever went to Breezewood or whatever, but because I know they have really nice quads there and really nice tracks. I didn't know if you ever train on a motocross track at all, or you're just strictly woods.
Oh yeah, I love motocross. I just actually went to Breezewood. I go there too. I forgot to mention that.
That's a nice little drive for you too.
Yeah, Breezewood's probably a couple hours, hour and a half. It ain't bad.
That's good. You're closer than I am. I go there like 2.5 hours.
He's young. He doesn't care.
He doesn't care about the drive, right?
So I'm curious now. Have you ever raced any motocross?
I have not.
Well, don't pick that up because you might just run with that.
I would like to, but it's expensive.
It is. It's very expensive.
It's very expensive, but those boys might not take a liking to somebody just coming in and dominating right off the bat.
How long you been riding motocross? 2 rounds.
Let me look at my clock. 45 minutes.
Yeah.
That's awesome, man. That's awesome. What a story.
Yeah, absolutely. What a story. We got a couple more questions for you. Damian Hawkins wants to know what your thoughts are moving from the A class to XC2 after only 1 year. I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, guys, but Steve, do you really, do you understand like how crazy this is that you went from A class to XC2 in 1 year of only racing for 2 years? Or is it just like you're just kind of doing your thing and it's just fun?
Truly, like my first year, everyone was just so hype about it. But me, like, I just try and like stay to myself. Just, you know what? It's cool, but you can't get better when you're all hung up on yourself. I'm not cocky. I'm humble, and I try and ignore it, and I try and just keep doing what I'm doing and have fun, because that's what it's about. It's not about, it is about how good you get, but you don't get better by, everyone hyping you up. You just stay humble and just keep clicking away, man. Put your head down and keep clicking.
I love that attitude.
Yeah, absolutely. Hey, whatever you're doing,
change it.
Yeah, keep it up. That's exactly what you should be doing. It's pretty incredible. Your story is very unique, and you kind of have us like we're all three just taken aback back over here with your story. So it's pretty cool, man. And I guess just keep the level head that you've had going into the game. And we have another question. How did you meet Hannah Hunter? Did you meet her at the races, or is that a relationship with that family that you had prior?
No, so we met at the racetrack. Okay, this is funny. So I raced at High Point my first year. It's probably my third race, and I got 7th overall in the morning and beat her overall. So she texted me on Instagram, and she's like, "Who are you? And how did you beat me?" And then she was like, "My dad's pissed that, a C-class guy beat me." And I was like, "Look, I just started racing."
Who are you, and where did you cut the track?
And, we just became friends, and, we just, that's how it started, man. Now we're training together and everything else. So, it's cool having her she pushes me, I push her, and we both, just try and feed off of each other and motivate each other, man, because this stuff's mental. It really is.
Yeah,
dude, the fact that you just said that and you've only been doing this 2.5 years is huge, man.
Yeah.
You figured out that a big part of this is in your head, and believing that you belong there and you can run the pace. is really, it's like half the battle.
Yeah.
It is.
I mean, if you think about it, your mental game's everything with everything you do in life.
Mhm.
I mean, sports, work, everything.
Yeah.
You have someone in the bottom of your head, saying this and that. You got to channel that out if you want to be good.
Right.
You know what I mean? You can't let that stuff get to you.
And it sounds like
Just
a lot of
gotta-
that. Sounds like a lot about that comes from wrestling, through
Yeah.
your wrestling
Yeah.
career.
Man, wrestling teaches. If you have kids, get them into it.
Yeah.
It teaches you so much. It really does. People don't. I was real big into it. I mean, I went to Junior Olympics and all that, so I was big into wrestling. And like I said, I had good coaches, and man, it's good for you. It really is.
So Steve, staying on the mental thing, what do you think is what's the next thing mentally you need to do to put yourself up there on the bumper of Jay Shed? What do you got to do?
I think truly, I know I have the speed, but it's mental. I just need to figure out my first lap. You know what I mean? Don't make a mistake. Just stay consistent. Jay's smooth. I gotta, minimize them mistakes. Take out a few more good lines that next lap and not do the same line over and over. All that type of stuff goes a long way. You gain 10 seconds, a good line. So
Yeah.
Mhm.
And that's another thing, guys, that we've not really touched on yet. It's the fact that with all the experience he's racing against, he's also racing against guys that have been to these facilities and been to these tracks over and over and over again. And he's on round 2.5 of seeing these places.
Yeah.
He still might be getting lost going to some of the places.
I'll be honest, someone like Jay Shadron, a lot of people are mad that he came, but I'm glad. He's teaching me a lot, man. He really is. He's someone you can pick up good things from. He's smooth, and Jay's a good guy. He really is.
Absolutely.
That's something somebody mentally strong would say.
Absolutely. Yep.
I think it was the best thing for me for XC2. He's teaching me a lot. He really is.
You want to beat the best?
I gotta figure it out, man. You can't cry all day if you want to be the best.
That's right.
Go get it.
Yeah.
Hey, what I'm taking away from this interview is athletes are going to athlete.
Absolutely. I'm taking away. We're going to be talking to him again in a couple of years.
Yeah.
In XC1.
XC1.
Yeah, absolutely. Steve, man, we appreciate you coming on the show. And you, like I said, you've really kind of blown our mind with everything you said, from how long you've been doing this to the mental state that you're in at such a young age and such a young career. Is just incredible, man. So, keep on the track that you're keeping on, and, hopefully, you're growing in your maturity on the track, as well as people knowing who you are, because like I said, man, we didn't know who you were before this season, and it's going to be you're going to be a forefront in our minds from now on. That's for sure.
Yeah, I won that A-class championship, and people still didn't really know.
Right.
So it's XC2, man. I didn't forget this. Damian Hawkins, he said, we kind of got off track, but he said going up from college A to XC2 so fast, it's if you can stay in college A, man, stay there, because you need to gain that knowledge. You know what I mean? You can have that raw speed, but you need that experience too.
Yeah.
It doesn't hurt to stay back. It really doesn't.
Yeah.
Gain that knowledge. It can't hurt. So it'll gain confidence too.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Well, hey, man, it sounds like
you
you've got the right tracks figured out, or the mind track figured out on how to do this, and it's just about letting the dominoes fall, because it looks like they're all lined up. Before we let you go, though, we have a couple questions that we ask every guest the first time on the show, and Jeff, you're going to have to think about this for your answer later on. What is your favorite fast food restaurant and favorite candy? And the reason why we ask this is because we have heard that you can tell a lot about a person by the answer to this question.
Oh,
You said fast food or restaurant?
Fast food restaurant
And you can only have one for your rest of your life.
for the rest of your life.
Candy and fast food.
Chick-fil-A.
Oh, Chick-fil-A.
Chick-fil-A,
Okay.
solid.
You said candy.
Yeah.
Yep.
Man, that's tough. The first thing that came to mind, I'm not saying this is my favorite, but probably a Snickers. I love a Snickers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What are you grabbing
know
after
if
the
you-
races when heading home?
Oh, I mean, normally I have stuff packed. So
Oh, okay. See,
peanut butter and jelly.
That's because he trains all the
Sometimes-
time.
that's where he trains. Yeah, that's that wrestler going to wrestling meet all day.
Sometimes I'll stop and get a couple of snacks from like the gas station.
Yeah,
or something.
yeah. I got you.
I love sweet tea, so I like having my sweet tea.
Yeah.
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 So
You see all these racers, Jeff, they always say like, oh, I like to binge on this right after the race or, whatever it may be. So that's kind of when we get our best answers is sometime after a race.
oh yeah, I hear you.
Yeah.
I
So
see everyone drinking soda. I'm like, I need like water or tea or something.
there we go.
It always blows my mind when a guy comes off the track and first thing he does is light up a cigarette and smoke. And I'm like, dude, how you doing
No
that?
way.
How are you doing
just-
that right now?
You just blew your freaking. You just had a good workout for 2 hours and you blew it.
I just never understood that. We had a couple buddies that were like that, like come off of after a motor, like, where's my cigarette? I'm like, dude, what are you gonna do? Fill your lungs up with smoke?
Smoking on the line.
Yeah,
Remember that?
Yeah,
No, like when we used to race motocross, there was a couple guys that get the last puff in right before the gate drops.
Wait, do you race motocross or are you just racing cross country?
we race I race a lot of different things. I used to be a quad rider and I'm a bike rider, and so I flirt with some.
So Brandon and I, we grew up racing ATV motocross. We had the luxury of living about 3 minutes away from a motocross track called Pyramid Valley. So we grew up racing there, and we dabbled a little bit in the nationals, and then as we got older, kind of started going towards a more woods side of things. And Jeff, have you always been in the woods?
Absolutely, 100%. 1993 in the trees, 2022 still in the trees. And listen, I've never ridden anything but a Honda.
Oh, geez.
There we go.
So
Hey, I used to be Team Honda, but you know what? If they'd make a quad, I'd love to be.
Yeah, I
one,
don't listen. I don't blame you guys. I understand why you got to be on a Yamaha, but
yeah,
I figure, but by the time I'm ready to quit, then I can get off a Honda.
right.
Yeah.
He's holding on to that dream that
Yep.
Honda's coming
They're
back.
coming, baby. They're still coming.
He's got somebody in his corner though. That might be a Honda guy for
Yeah.
till death. So.
Yeah, absolutely. It helps.
Yeah, I hear you.
So, yeah. So hey
I
man.
have this argument all day about Honda Yamaha.
Oh, yeah.
Never end.
Oh yeah, we've had the
Let's hope Honda brings one back.
Right.
yeah.
Right.
Maybe one day. Maybe one day. So
I freaking hope.
hey Steve, man, we appreciate you coming on the show. We're gonna let you go now, and hey, I think we're gonna have to talk to you before the year's over.
We should see him at John
Yeah,
Penn.
Yeah,
sure.
we're gonna be at the John Penton. I would say
Yep.
Jeff will be at the John Penton
Yep.
as well. So we'll stop by and say hey to you.
Hey, Steve.
Sounds good, man.
Hey,
I'd love to
Steve.
meet you.
Actually, a little plug, man. At the John Penton, we're going to have a quick Canada Riders get together. So I'd like it if you can.
Sounds good.
I'll shoot you a message, let you know where we're going to meet. If you can stop by, I'd love to meet you face to face, buddy.
For sure. I'd love to meet you too.
All right, buddy.
All right, man.
All right, Steve. We'll talk to you later, man. Thanks for coming on.
All right, man. Thank you.
All right, later. All right, man.
Two-
What is that?
I still don't even know what to think.
When he said 2 years, I thought maybe like GNCC.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So before on the way up here, I was talking to Drew Blackley on the phone. We were talking about some other Kenda stuff, and he knew that Steve was going to be on the show tonight. And he said, "Hey," he says, I misunderstood him. I thought he meant he had just been in XC2 for 2 years. I didn't know what he meant was he'd only been riding quads for 2 years.
That's because that's the more logical thing to think.
Yeah, I was thinking, well, that's pretty good for 2 years XC2. He's right there with Jay Shad and them. Good Lord.
two,
I mean,
two, 2 full years of just racing. That's
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
XC2 guy.
and then before that, I just rode around the farm and
Yeah.
just kind of rode with
Just
my dad.
Relax. And,
Yeah.
yeah, man, that's just crazy. I don't know. That's awesome.
I wish
man.
we'd ask him, but I wonder whether there was a guy named Harrell that used to race back in the day when
Uh-huh.
I was racing. I just wonder whether it wasn't his dad.
Maybe.
Like I couldn't remember whether he said his dad raced a little bit or whether he said his dad never raced.
It's got to come from somewhere, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
Man.
but the thing
Because
is,
he,
though,
he, if it's the right guy, he was fast.
yeah.
Right.
No, like you're right though. You expect to hear like, okay, maybe 2 years just in the GNCC, but this guy has been killing the Mountain State Hare Scrambles. He's
Yeah.
been beating pros, stuff like that.
Right.
But you don't expect to hear what we just heard.
No.
Right.
So that's what makes it. That's what makes it
What's
wild.
crazy is like we didn't even know. Like, aren't we supposed to know this stuff? No.
That we're
Well, I'm glad you
We're
weren't,
all-
I'm glad you weren't counting on me for that.
we're all free media in
We're all
here,
like,
and nobody knew it. This is the meeting of the minds here, and
Yeah.
we're a little weak on the mind stuff.
Yeah.
But, hey, shout out to AJ Oplinger. He says that he is the GNCC 62243.
Oh, okay, cool.
And he says it's not his wife that plays that one.
Oh, okay.
So he said that's all him.
That's
So
all him.
congratulations on the awesome showing. Hey, Steve Combs, thanks for the shout out, man. We appreciate it. And we're gonna jump into our next guest here in just a couple minutes. But first, hey Jeff.
Yes.
Listen, we got where I have it in the comments here. We had some. Oh, look at this. Look at this. We got some.
I gotta go to the glass.
Some love messages being sent to you via the show. So
Oh, thanks, beautiful. Love you too.
so yeah, we had to address that real quick.
Oh, shoot.
No, Jeff, we appreciate you coming into the show,
Yeah,
man. This has been an awesome show so far.
Yeah, man. thank
A lot of ATV talk, but now we're going to switch it over just a little bit for a little while to the dirt bike side. And Lane Michael, local guy, has always been fast. If you were ever at Pyramid Valley around whenever
Okay.
Lane was there, we talked a lot about how Lane was just
I do know the name.
Yeah.
Yep.
he was like one of the ones like staying low on the jumps. I mean, it was beautiful
Yeah.
watching him ride out at that track, and I'm sure the track was a little bit lower than what he, the potential that he had for
Right.
sure. So, but we're gonna get him on the line. Lane went out in what was it? The second race of the season with an injury.
Yeah.
And just came back. He won the National Enduro last week, and is now, this past weekend he was running really solid at the GNCC and ended up dropping back to about 6th position. But for being his first race back in a while, it's good to see him back on the bike.
Yeah, looking good. I was wondering where he was at, all this time. I was like, where's Lane Michael at? But I remember now that he got hurt.
Over on the bike side, it was kind of hard to keep track of everybody that was getting hurt.
Absolutely.
Yeah, this year.
Yeah, fallen soldiers, man. They were like,
It's like, what is going on?
yeah, because Mikey Waynes and I talked about that there, and he's like, it was hard to keep up with. You had XC2 and XC3 guys now in the mix because some of the top guys were gone, and you didn't know if they're coming back or they're going to recover from injury. But Stu,
I'm still
Stu,
I'm
come
still
on.
shocked on Stu.
dude,
How's he even riding right now? I don't even
It's
know. Who breaks their neck and back riding in like
Listen,
what,
just
8 weeks?
bush
6 weeks?
lattes. It's just bush lattes.
I
Is that what
guess,
it is?
man.
Yeah.
Just bush margaritas.
Yeah.
Eating
We're good.
nails. Yeah. No, it's really amazing. And when he was on the show last, he was saying like, I want to be back by snowshoe. I want to run snowshoe so I can see where I'm at, to see what I need to work on for the for the rest of the season after the summer break. You talk about mental strength.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, after an injury like that, I mean, all jokes aside, that injury is scary.
Oh,
And
I think I'd just be done.
I
mean,
agree.
Just think about this when he
ACL took me out.
Well, believe me, I was considering quitting after the rib thing.
I'm
Right.
sure. I mean, that's scary as well.
yeah,
Like, there's no injury that's not like kind of, you kind of,
don't want to blow it off. You know what I
Yep.
mean? It kind of sticks in your mind like, man, that hurt last time. I don't
That
know if I
hurt
want to do
last
that
time.
again.
And it's also hard to get back to the speed
Right.
because it's there.
It's there.
Once you have that kind of crash or that kind of injury,
Mhm.
you can't you don't shake that very easy.
No.
What blows my mind is he literally got up, got back on the bike, and finished the race.
Yeah.
with feeling going in and out of his legs.
I'm like,
Yeah.
what?
Yeah.
I mean, it's a mental toughness, or his words, not ours, either stupid or tough,
Right.
either or. I mean, it's something that you don't typically see,
Mhm.
especially that early in the
Oh,
year.
yeah.
You know, it wasn't like the championship was on the line that day.
There is no doubt he's a little on the crazy side.
Yeah. just a
I mean,
little
it's a fun crazy, but he's
Have you heard about his alligator story?
no.
bit. Yeah.
What?
We talked a little bit about
A
it.
little bit about it.
It
Yeah.
was kind of under wraps last year,
Yeah.
but supposedly him and a 12-footer got into a little tussle during a bow fishing night.
Yeah.
So
Which
That sounds perfect.
yeah, it sounds
Yeah.
about right.
Absolutely.
You're not shocked.
No.
I am more shocked that Steve has only raced 2 years than I am that Stu wrestled an alligator.
Right. And it's probably hanging on his wall.
Maybe it wouldn't surprise me. Just like the stump is now hanging on his wall.
The stump is on the
The
wall.
stump is
of
now
the
hanging on his
alligator,
wall.
He has a bush latte in the alligator's mouth.
Yeah. So, but you know, somebody else that's been coming back from injury, you know, year after year, it seems like, and unfortunately, it is Lane Michael. You know,
Right.
he's somebody that also has had to come back from these injuries. But it was cool to see the speed is still there. You saw
Yeah.
that in the U.S. Sprint Enduros
Yep.
The previous week,
Mhm.
and the speed is still there.
Yeah.
And I'm excited to get him on the line, and we're going to talk to him and so, you know, see how his mindset is going into his second round back next week at the John Penton.
Yeah.
So let's go ahead and get him on the line. We're a few minutes late calling him, but I think he's going to be all right.
Hopefully.
I can never stay on time, man.
Oh,
It's
it's
tough.
hard.
It is hard.
It's
It's
hard.
tough.
It's hard.
Especially when we get good conversation. Is it even ringing?
Not yet. It's saying calling. You know how phones are sometimes.
Yeah.
Hey, we're just lucky we're here.
You don't have T-Mobile, right?
Is he there? Oh, hello?
Hello?
Hey,
Hey,
Lane.
here we go.
Hey.
How's it going, man? Sorry, I had the wrong button up. So we're still trying to learn some of this stuff. You'd think we'd have it down by now, but here we are. How's it going, man?
Yeah, it's going pretty well. How about yourself?
Oh, not too bad. Cooper from the show, Brandon, and Jeff Harvey is joining us in studio tonight, man. So thanks so much for coming on. We appreciate your time tonight. Appreciate you wanting to call in and talk to us after your first race back to the GNCC series in a little while.
Yep. Yeah, it's been quite unfortunate, but yeah, it's been a while. But man, it was good to finally get back and to finish one. That was obviously the main goal this weekend was just to get 3 hours under my belt and just kind of get back in the swing of GNCC. So it was overall not a bad weekend.
Dude, you were running top 3 all day, and I might have missed it. What happened? Like, did you fall or what?
No, it was $1 million question. Everyone was wondering, but man, I just I tanked. It's been a while since I did a 3 hour, and man, the track was just super gnarly, and it just kind of caught up to me. I mean, I was in a good position early, and I just wanted to run the pace as long as I could. Like I said, I was a bit unsure where I was at. I've really only been on the bike kind of consistently for probably 2.5, 3 weeks. So it was good. Like, obviously it's frustrating to be up front and then to fall back, but man, I just I gave it all I had. I was completely done at the end of the race, but I only had about 2 hours and 10 minutes in me, and that was it. So yes, it's frustrating and a bit of a bummer, but man, at the end of the day, I can't be too mad because I gave it all I had, and we were still able to hang on to a decent finish. So it wasn't all bad.
No, I'm just glad you didn't hit the ground or anything. I was a little worried. I was like, man, what happened to Lane? He's got back and running strong all day. And then, that explains it.
Yep. No, it was good. I mean, yes, I did have a few falls, but honestly, it was just from being tired. I mean, I've been, doing all the off bike training and all that. Like, I feel like I'm one of the most fit dudes out there, obviously, but when you just miss the continuous 3 hour grind, and those guys are 5 races in, and unfortunately I haven't made it really past 2 hours at any of them that I've done, and you just miss the bike time. Obviously 3 hours isn't easy regardless, but just missing that much time and hopping back in, it just it bit me. It sucks to say, but a bunch of people asked me. I mean, even my boss, I had to explain it to my boss. I was like, I don't know. I said I could have rode around and probably kept the same lap times and, 7th, 8th all day, but I'd rather, run up front as long as I can. And, I don't want to say fade back because that's awful, but I mean, it's the reality, and that's what happened. But it was good to finish, and got that muscle memory back a little bit. Hopefully at Millfield, we'll hang on to maybe the white flag lap or whatever. Just it's going to take a little time, but yeah, I mean, it's good to run up front as long as I did. And yeah, we'll just keep building. That's all we can do.
Hey, now I like that mentality. You know, the more you run up front, the longer you're going to be able to run up front. And it was a shoulder that took you out in round 2, correct?
No, it was round 1. I did it at the first round.
Oh, that's right. It was round 1.
Where everybody else
Yep. Yep. I did it with about a lap and a half to go. And that one was a tough one to swallow because I felt like I played that race really good. I was in position for a podium coming down to the end, and yeah, just I don't know if I just got not lazy, but I think I was just following Stu and maybe not 100% focused on what I was doing, and I just clipped a root. Honestly, it was nothing crazy, and it was just how it pitched me, and I landed on my shoulder, and I felt it pop, and yeah, knew it wasn't good from there. But you know, I didn't need surgery. So I was able to at least able to salvage the sprint enduro side of things, and was still able to race. Obviously, it wasn't good for quite a few weeks, but yeah, I was able to, you know, keep mustering through that. Finally got back to where I could, you know, be competitive at those again. And then unfortunately, I came back a little too early. I was a bit hard-headed and naive and just wanted to get back for the GNCC. And yeah, I just, same thing, had a little fall, and the shoulder just wasn't ready for any sort of impact. And yeah, I honestly, I thought I was going to have to get surgery after the second big buck. I was, you know, kind of bummed. And, but yeah, luckily it wasn't as bad as I thought. I mean, I did sting it a little bit again, but yeah, luckily it healed up, and I had to bite the bullet and just, yeah, took a few weeks off of doing nothing again. And yeah, it feels great now. You know, I was able to finish that race, and the shoulder honestly didn't bother me that whole race. So I was very happy with that. Just yeah, just got tired. That's all I could say. So, but it's good. Like I said, it's just building from here, and yeah, it's part of it.
Yeah. Speaking of the U.S. Sprint Enduros, you and Josh Toth, man, you guys have been trading spots, man. You guys are really killing it over there.
Yeah, it's been good. I mean, obviously, I think I would have had my hands a little more full with Johnny Gerard. Obviously, I got not lucky by any means. I hate him getting injured, and obviously Johnny and I are really good friends. He's back riding. We actually rode today together. So yeah, but I mean, with how the points were, I knew I had to try to salvage those first couple with the shoulder, and yeah, luckily I was able to do so. But it's still down to the wire, and it's yeah, I still got a tall order ahead of me. I pretty much have to win the last 4 days. I think if I win 3 out of the last 4, I can win it by 1 point. So it's yeah, it's definitely going to be a nail biter. And I mean, I'm up for the challenge. The whole reason I rode injured so many races was to, you know, at least still have a shot. So yeah, it's good. I was able to pull both day wins out at the last one, and Toast's been riding phenomenal, and it's good to for me to finally feel like I'm getting close to 100% again and getting more bike time. So everything's just starting to come back to that, you know, natural feel. So definitely excited for the rest of the races from here on out.
Yeah. So what do we? Ben Kelly's been killing it this year. So
yep.
Do you see, and of course you hope yourself is going to win for sure, but I mean, do we see anyone else? Is he going undefeated this year or what?
No, no, can't go undefeated the whole year. Yeah, no, he's riding phenomenal. Ben's man, he's got those GNCCs down to a science. It seems he's riding really well, and man, he's so strong, no matter the condition or the race. And like I said, he's got that confidence. He's been healthy for a while now. So yeah, like I said, it's confident. I mean, that just shows you, you know, when a healthy season, obviously he won the championship last year, but yeah, I mean, it just, once you have that confidence rolling, you know, you can do it. It just seems easy. So he's riding well. Obviously we are still all a bit off of him at the moment, but Yeah. I don't know. Hey,
He's
no
like,
undefeated season. We won't let it happen.
That's what I
know.
That's what I like to
Not
hear,
everyone's
man.
gonna let it happen. We're gonna fight. So
That's good. That's good.
But
I was
yeah,
hoping.
no, he's riding good, and yeah, he deserves everything he has. So
hey man, with people with guys like you being able to kind of enter their way back into the season,
especially with summer break coming.
It's summer break coming, and you like you said, if you keep pushing yourself each and every round to get a little bit better and a little bit better, that full race is going to come around. And your speed is right there. There's a lot of guys in this class that have that speed. It's just a matter of putting a little few puzzle pieces together that Ben has seemed to be able to have put together the full puzzle piece as of right now. But I'm like you, I can't see a complete season going undefeated happening, especially with guys like yourself, soon to be Stu Baylor, Josh Strang's already back as well. Guys like that, it's going to get a little tougher.
Plus, don't forget about the mountain.
Sure.
Snowshoe.
Yeah.
Forget about, it's unpredictable.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yep.
That is a big part right there.
Yep. No, he's I think that's the scary race for us because that's where he rides really well in those conditions. But no, I mean, like I said, I'm not saying he couldn't do it. Can he do it? Yes, of course. But I think there's a lot of us that for sure will not let that happen. I'd like to say I'm one of them, but we'll get there. I don't foresee
you
it
get that third hour figured out.
No, Brandon and I have always talked about how, like, man, your speed is at the very tip of the spear.
Mm-hmm.
And, like you said, if you can get that and hang on to it for the last couple of laps, and then now, I feel really good about you coming back this year. You sound like you got a little bit of a pep in your step. You sound like you're really ready to step that game up even more each and every round. And I'm excited to hear that.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, like I said, I thought this was finally going to be, a solid season all the way around. But, man, unfortunately, we're 5 months into the season, and I feel like I've only raced 3 races semi-healthy. And that was the first one I came into, first GNCC. I was not even semi-healthy. I mean, there's a lot of behind-the-scenes stuff that happened before the season even started. It's just been a unfortunate roller coaster of events this year. So it's been tough. Mentally, it's been tough. There's been times already this year I'm like, what am I doing? Like, I don't understand how I can do so good, but yet, be riding in so much pain. And it's been crazy, but I think I'm finally seeing the light at the end of the tunnel. And I want to be known for, I have this image of, a fast sprinter and one of the fastest guys. And yes, I believe I am one of the fastest guys at the sprint enduros, and even at a GNCC, I think I could lay down the fastest lap, but unfortunately that's not what wins those races. So, you gotta know when to use it, when to settle. And, I think that's what Ben has figured out. And, obviously he's, super fit, and it's tough. GNCCs are tough, man. All it takes is one little thing to, kill the confidence, and you feel like you're in a hole, and, you want to give up on yourself. And that's something that I've had to work on a lot. I mean, the sprints do come very easy to me. It's a natural thing for me to go race. And the GNCCs definitely have always been harder for me. But I think this year with the prep that I had coming in, I was, really ready for it. And just unfortunately I've had injury after injury so far. And but like I said, I think we're seeing the light at the end of the tunnel. My body's feeling good again. I was able to, finally get that GNCC under my belt. And I mean, I think that was by far, other than Florida, that was by far the roughest one I've ever done. So I don't know if it's the roughest one I've ever done or just because I missed so many this year, you forget. But
maybe a little bit of combination.
Everybody's been saying it was pretty rough.
Nonetheless, it was very difficult, and I was glad to make it through. Obviously, bummed to fade as bad as I did, but hey, I mean, I kept my head held high. A bunch of people kept asking me, like I said, the same question, what happened? And I just took it on the chin. I'm like, boys, I'm sorry. I tanked. I don't have an excuse. Bike was working good. I was working good. I just ran out those last last hour. So
Hey, man, that's nothing to apologize for, because I firmly believe that your method of trying to get faster for a longer period of time and just going until you can't go anymore, you're going to increase yourself each and every round, rather than just like, okay, I'm at a 6, I can hold a 6th place pace for a longer period of time. That's not going to get you faster.
You know, this is a sport too that it's hard to hide when you get tired.
Yeah.
Like, it's not like you can just kind of just make your way. It's obvious when you've tanked.
You could be like me when all you speed up when the fans are around, people are watching.
Pro.
That's right.
Yeah. And that's what was tough with this weekend. I mean, normally there's smooth sections of the track to where you can, get out of the rough stuff. But honestly, the track was so ruddy and technical and rough, like I couldn't escape it. So even when you wanted to be lazy in the woods and just kind of chill out, you couldn't. You're still constantly fighting the bike and the ruts and all that. So obviously it was a more difficult one. I mean, I feel like any other track you can kind of get away from. I mean, we had the field that you could kind of rest in a little bit, but yeah, no, like I said, I'm not embarrassed by it, but I mean, it does bother me because I kind of have that persona, and a bunch of people, call me the last hour fade. But I guess until
it's
you
not
prove
KR,
them wrong,
right? KR is not telling you that, is he?
No, I mean, Caleb's been honestly one of the best mentors I've had. Obviously, we're related with family, and
right.
He knows a lot of the issues that I've had. Kind of, like I said, behind the scenes a bit and all that. So no, he's been nothing but good. Obviously he questions it sometimes, like, what the hell are you doing? But, we all have our own ways of learning. And unfortunately I've taken the hard way here and had to make quite a few mistakes to finally get it figured out. And like I said, we still don't have it figured out, obviously. So,
hey,
but it's coming. It's coming. I can tell. I feel well. And it's coming soon.
Are you still in the Carolinas, or are you coming back home up in West Virginia for these next 3 rounds?
So I'm down in North Carolina. I'll be down here. I'll probably stay up in between the next sprint and the High Point GNCC, just because they're both within 30 minutes of my parents' house. So I'll come up probably then and stay that week to kind of see the family and ride the track I grew up on and all that good stuff. But North Carolina's home now, and my wife's pretty busy with her work. She's a photographer, and she's got weddings and sessions all throughout the week. So normally after the race we got to be home because she's got to work on Monday. So it's come full circle now, and if I'm not gone on the weekend, she's gone during the week. So it's good. I wouldn't have it any other way. And North Carolina's home for now, and it's definitely good when I can sneak away and get home for the week and see the family and all that good stuff. So we'll definitely be up there for at least a week in between one of them.
Are you planning on running any locals while you're up this way, or are you just?
Well, when I'm up there, it's just kind of, I have 3 weekends in a row of racing, so I probably won't have any time to snag in a local. And last year I was able to do a few. The only ones I did was the ones they put up a purse for, which as a professional now, you feel bad going and taking the locals' money, who probably deserve it more than I do. But
you never feel bad, man.
At the end of the day, if I can drive up, spend $100 and win $1,000, it's kind of hard to turn it down. But we got bills to pay now, so
we won't get into that topic.
We know how that is for sure. Hey, real quick, speaking of like mentors and everything, I gotta ask, man. I'm sure you watched the Supercross this weekend. What did you think of all of the interesting things going on with
especially
Marsha?
with your boy Bam?
What did you think of all that?
Yeah, I mean, obviously he's one of my best friends and all that, but no, I think I don't know. I haven't talked to him, but
he's probably put himself in a cloud right now.
I'll be honest, like when I watched it, I was like, oh, like he was going to make an aggressive pass regardless.
Right.
Yeah.
But which that doesn't, it doesn't honestly bother me too much when he makes his aggressive passes. That one was a bit aggressive, but I think honestly, like to me, when I watched it, it looked like he didn't think Malcolm was going to take that far inside, and he was obviously already committed to jumping in. And but I thought he was going to say something along those lines when we went up the podium, and he just said nah. So,
hey, no, honestly, I'm going to tell you
for the money, man.
I'm going to tell you right now, Lane, that was my favorite interview of Barsha after an incident like that, because everybody already has made him the villain. So I think it's so cool. Just play it, just own it and play it. And this is me. This is who I've always been. That's what he said. And I'm like, this makes it so much better because anybody that wants to bash him on Instagram or whatever it is, if you weren't into that race and you weren't glued to the TV for the interviews, you're lying to yourself.
Right.
He made that show.
Right.
Like the move or not, he made the show.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah. No, he's aggressive, and honestly, love him or hate him. Obviously, I love him, but just the way he races. If you're a racer and actually watch him race, it doesn't matter if it's for 5th, 10th, last, if he has a chance to make a pass, he's going to do it. And he never gives up until the finish. I admire the crap out of that. Just knowing his past, even with Yamaha, when they were struggling, and obviously he's a, top 5 guy, no matter what, when he's riding around in 8th, 9th, and he's giving it his all, it's crazy. None of those guys, other than obviously the top few, but even those, sometimes if they're having a bad day, they legit just give up on themselves and they'll end up 10th. He'll fight, no matter what. Yeah. So it's something that I think no matter who you are, you can look at it and admire it. And if you don't, then you're blind. So
you got to respect the effort level given from him at all times, and in the durability he's not missed hardly any races. But I have to, you said that he'll do it for first, last, whatever, it doesn't matter. Training with him, have you ever been on the receiving end of one of those stuffs?
I'd go down to his place in the summer. Obviously, I'd go down and I spent probably 4 summers in a row with him. I'd go down and ride with him at his place. And man, if we do motos, and obviously I was always the rabbit, and yes, he was 4 or 5 seconds a lap faster than me, but he'd send me out there a minute. Man, when he caught me at the end of the moto, obviously I'm tanked trying to run away from him anyway, but he'd run it up on the inside and hit me. It's him. I remember one time we did a start on a starting gate, and obviously I'm not too good at him anyway, but just so happened he had a bad one and I ripped a good one. And we were going down the start straight, and I think I was on a 350 at the time, but he pulled me going down the straightaway, and he just full on cut me off going down the start straight when he caught me. He was not letting me have it. So like I said, it doesn't matter practicing, and especially a race when the money's on the line. Obviously, he's going to do what it takes to get around you. So, it's cool. I love Justin. He's a good dude, no matter what his on track record is. If you'd meet him in person, dude, he's honestly the nicest dude you'd ever meet.
That's
super
what I've heard.
Dude. He's super cool. I met him with my boy up at High Point, and he offered to put my son on his bike and everything, and it was pretty cool. And but I was going to ask you, can we get him talked into doing a GNCC?
Honestly, he's been wanting to come to one for a couple of years. It just hasn't worked out with, our schedules. He was wanting to come to one. He was wanting to try to come to Ironman one year, but then I think it was the year of COVID and all that crap, because they didn't do Monster Cup or something. So he actually had the time off, but I forget what ended up popping up, and he didn't make it, but I'd love to have him come to one. It just hasn't worked out yet. And man, those guys are so busy. And
they are. Yeah.
When they do get the break, the last thing they really want to do is travel to another race.
Right.
If he's going to travel somewhere, he's probably going to go back to England to his wife's family so they can visit, or he's going to go on a vacation somewhere and do nothing. So
especially a 2 or a 3 hour brutal race like that. I just
thought it'd be pretty cool.
For sure, probably wouldn't race it, but he was just wanting to come watch.
Right.
I've tried to get him to go ride some woods a couple times, but the best I got was down at Tallahassee. We'd go to one track, and it was a sand track when it rained, and it had some trees that was close, and he'd call it tight, and it was still skid steer wide. So
I just couldn't imagine that 51 coming through the woods. That'd be awesome.
Yeah,
That'd be awesome.
it'd be cool. So maybe when he retires, we'll get him to one.
And
Yeah.
him, Pastrana, Sipes, and Osborne, and all those guys can have fun.
Yeah,
That'd be sick.
so for sure. So looking into the schedule, John Penton, that kind of seems like kind of your, I would say, bread and butter type of track, kind of what you grew up riding here in the West Virginia area. It's pretty close to West Virginia. Are you looking forward to the John Penton?
Yeah, I'm looking forward to being back to racing healthy. Like I said, it's been super difficult mentally, to keep racing injured. I was about fed up and ready to just, toss in the towel for the year until I was completely healed. But yeah, I'm glad I fought through it now. Like I said, I still kept a championship alive at least. And yeah, I'm just excited to get back and keep building and get back up front. I had big aspirations this year of battling for podiums all year. And like I said, the first one was looking good for me. And unfortunately, like I said, you got to be there all 3 hours, and unfortunately it didn't make it. And like I said, I've been up front at all of them that I've been to this year. Just haven't finished them all. And the one I did finish, like I said, we faded back. But yeah, no, it's good. Obviously, the Penton doesn't get near as rough as kind of what that did, and I think it'll be a bit better. I have a 3 hour under my belt, get that muscle memory back, and just looking forward to all of them. Honestly, they're all unique in a different way, and I feel like for sure the next two are favor my style and tracks that I do pretty well at. So I look forward to keep building. Hopefully, this weekend or at the next one, be battling up front for longer, and obviously have a better finish, and then go for the podium at High Point. I feel like that's realistic. That's another 5 weeks until that one, and I feel like with being able to put in the motos during the week finally, and just have everything start coming more natural. I think that's definitely in the cards, and so we gotta build back up so we can ruin the streak. So
that's right.
I know I'm not the only one. We're all thinking the same thing.
That's right. So
and it's not, like I said, it's nothing against Ben. He's honestly probably the nicest dude in that class. So but yeah, we can't have that happen. It's embarrassing for all of us. So
you got to make it look good for the fans too, right?
Yeah, that's right. It's probably getting a bit boring for him seeing the number one out there all by himself. So we need to make it interesting. But yeah, he's not making it easy on any of us.
Yeah. Well, hey man, we're in your corner. We've been in your corner, being the local guy, representing the area, and we're going to be at the John Penton this weekend, so we're excited to
next weekend.
Yeah. I'm sorry, next weekend. I don't want to be there this weekend.
Don't get fans at John Penton.
Yeah, sorry guys, messed it up a little bit. No, but we'll be there, and we're excited to see you back in action, man. So, hey man, thanks again for coming on the show. Like always, we appreciate your time tonight. And man, it was a good time talking to you.
Yeah, for sure. Sounds good. I appreciate the support, and I look forward to keeping the Fairmont, Morgantown, West Virginia area proud, and we're gonna keep fighting, and we'll be on the podium soon. Hopefully get a win this season. That's my goal. So.
That's right, man.
Sounds good, man.
That's good.
We'll be cheering
man.
for you.
Yeah, we're excited to watch, man. So we're going to talk to you down the road, man. And again, we appreciate your time tonight, and we'll see you later, bud.
Yeah, perfect. Sounds good, guys. Have a good evening.
All right, man. We'll talk to you later.
Yep. See ya.
And if he can put that third hour together, we could see big things from him.
So talk about sprint speed. Talk about how fast he is. Look at the guys he's trained with, though.
Right.
He's trained with killers, and Justin Barsha. And I'm talking like these guys that have trained on motocross. Lane's been riding moto for
a long time. He looked really good on the moto track.
Think about this. For a GNCC pro to only be 5 seconds off of Justin Barsha's pace.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's not bad.
Yeah, that's pretty wild.
Yeah.
So, we're looking forward to seeing him back in the series and putting those 3 hours together, like he said. So, yeah, man. Jeff, how are you ready to get to the races this next weekend as well?
Absolutely, man. So I think we're going to do our first doubleheader of the year. I think we're back to close enough health that we can go back to back. So we're going to be at the East Coast race on Saturday. And then we're going to make our first appearance at the Mountain State Hare Scrambles.
Cool. Oh, very nice.
On Sunday also. So it's not that we haven't been wanting to go. It's just honestly, it's been one and done for us in terms of feeling better and getting back to being healthy. So I think we can do it. So we're going to give her a whirl.
Yeah.
What's the worst that can happen? I pull off again. I mean,
All right.
Hey, so questions, are you going to race?
Yeah. See, that's the thing. I've been trying to get him to do it, man. I'm trying.
We might see the 318 machine before the end of the year. So
that wasn't the question. No, before the end of the year.
Right now,
are we saying, are you on the bike or just the 318 machine on the track?
It depends on how much somebody wants to pay to.
See, he'll offer it out to me.
You're going to be an owner. You're just going to be an owner.
Yeah, see, he's the owner. So you got to watch him. He's sly.
No. I'd love to get back out there and racing.
You got to redeem yourself at the Mason-Dixon. Man.
Oh, that was a rough one.
You got to redeem yourself.
That was the one where my knee went the wrong way, the wrong direction last year.
Dude, I remember a local a couple years ago. You and I passed each other like 20 times.
Yeah,
like it was just back and forth, We weren't even in the same class.
No.
We just got hooked up, and like you'd blow a turn and I'd get by you. I'd blow a turn, you'd get by me.
Yeah. Was that the? I think that was in Fairmont.
Yeah, it might have been.
So you know what the funny thing is that particular race I could have beat myself up for because it was that race that was just dust berms.
Yes.
And it would suck you off the track, right?
100%.
Yeah. And I remember I blew a berm and I was in the lead in my class, which is one row ahead of you at that race.
Yep.
And your entire class got by me before I got back on the bike. And I was working my way up through, and I was just like such a mental case at that point in time. I was like, I got to get back. And you let me by, and I was like, okay, I got to go. And then I blew a berm. And then you guys went all back by me. And then I got back through and then blew another berm. And this time I ended up snapping a steering stem.
Yep.
And then when I look at the results, and Jeff beat everybody in my class. So had I just calmed down and stayed with you,
absolutely, we could just rode to the win.
We could just rode together to the win.
2 wins.
Yeah, exactly. But no, I was too a basket case and trying to do something I shouldn't have done at that race.
That was fun though, but the dust was bad.
The dust was bad.
It was bad.
The dust was bad. We had McGill on, I think, soon after that. After that race, and he was at that race as well.
Yes.
And I think that was probably one of your guys' double headers.
Yep, it was.
Except for you did them in the same day, right?
Yes.
That was back when they both were on Sunday.
That was. We actually jumped. We just threw them in the back of the truck. We gassed them up on the way. We normally got there, unloaded, and we were at this. I think we just had the gear on.
Yeah.
Like we just rode. Yeah, because we wanted to see if we could do it because they were close.
Yeah, they were close.
Yes.
They were close. Almost not quite as close as they were the first round of this year.
Oh, yeah. Good night. It was like just one ridge over.
Yeah. I think there was actually people that like camped at one and went to the other.
They rode the motorcycles. I saw, they camped at the East Coast race and they rode over motorcycles and raced to the Mountain State and then they rode back.
Brandon, they were so close that if you accidentally got off the trail at one, you could have maybe been on the wrong one, but you would have saw dirt bikes and that would have been.
It was like an 18-mile loop total. You did not on each side.
Yeah. And on half of it, you would have been, either day on half of it, you would have been seeing dirt bikes. So that would have been a clue that you were in the wrong race.
Right. That's awesome.
No, I actually think it's a really cool thing that when Richie went to the 2-day format, that he did the opposite of the new East Coast series. 100%. That gives the opportunity for both the ATV and the dirt bike guys to do a doubronner in the weekends.
And it's actually benefited both series.
I agree.
Because, now we're getting 100 plus, 100 and a quarter. Last round, Ronnie had 166. You guys had 126.
Yeah.
And that's back-to-back days. So, that's helping the sport.
How do you guys keep them together for back-to-back days?
Oh, yeah, you just have to have 2 bikes.
Oh, is that what it is?
Yeah.
Did you race 2 bikes in that one day?
No.
Just the one.
I was going to say, because I thought I saw dirty bikes.
No, so I brought 2 bikes.
Uh-huh.
But honestly, I felt so good on the bike I ran earlier.
Yeah.
I said, you know what? I'm going to run it again because it just everything felt good on it. It was just smooth. And I was like, we're not going to risk it.
Yeah.
Right.
No. like I said, that both those series are just A class, and we're really fortunate to live in an area
100%
that has two high quality.
Yeah. And then even if you count 3, if you count the Wexar up in Parkersburg in Ohio side.
Yeah.
I mean, these 2 down here are awesome, but even if you wanted to, you could even explore a little bit about an hour north of us. So
Yeah. Very blessed. And you were involved with both series when you saw the COVID kind of hit, and it really, in my opinion, like the Mountain State Hare Scramble series, like you went from like 50, 60 bikes racing to double, sometimes tripling that.
Yep.
And obviously a star was born that time with Steve Harrell.
With Steve Harrell,
A star was born.
COVID gave us Steve Harrell. What's going on, man?
The kid,
he couldn't wrestle, so he raced a 4-wheeler.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, geez, that still blows my mind.
Yeah.
I just think people were so sick of not being able to get out and do something that people who had quit racing just got back into it so they can go do something, get out of the house, be outside, be competitive. And, but yeah, definitely it was a good time.
It was a good time, and it was fun. And like the previous to that was, cause I kind of went a hiatus on the sport and wasn't riding for a few years. And when I came back, to the Mountain State Hare Scramble series, it was, 50 some bikes. And I was like, that seems about the right for a local.
Right.
And then the next year I was like, holy cow, this is like a miniature GNCC.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So, and it's really fun, to be able to get that, at a local series. And, I have a young cousin that just started racing, and he started racing in the Mountain State Hare Scramble series. And I told him, I said, it's fast out there. And I said, you got to be ready, because there's a lot of people too.
Absolutely. And
he was racing in the C class, and his very first race ever was the first race of at the Mountain State Hare Scramble this season. And I think in that C 16 to 24, I believe, there was, I think, 30 bikes.
There was, because one of my buddies, Trey Heister, is just started with, and his dad, Mick Heister, runs in my class. And he was like, good night, because I couldn't believe how many guys were in that class. Like, it was a nightmare for him to get up through the pack. Like, it was like, he said it was bad.
Yeah. It was
you
wild.
mean he just didn't become an XC2 pro and already by now?
He's thinking about it after 2 races.
Okay.
Well, he is thinking about it. He's got
He didn't beat Adam McGill that day?
Well, see, he started his wrestling career a little bit later in life. Yeah.
That's just, man. That's
he's only won 2 state championships instead of 6.
We're not being hard on you, Steve. That's just crazy, man.
It's wild.
It's insane.
It's wild. How many people are signing their kids up for wrestling right now listening to this podcast?
Or at least a wrestling trainer.
Exactly.
In the winter, you are going to wrestle.
Yeah, exactly. Go ahead, Brandon.
So real quick, we try to do a little bit of a rant thing. My rant this week is, when did we start racing for plaques and not receiving money? You know what I mean? Like, what made us as riders be like, yeah, I'll take that $5 plaque instead of that.
Deep.
I'm going just a little bit deep. I mean, honestly, like, I think about NASCAR, or not NASCAR, like your local dirt car series is.
Yeah.
Those guys don't race for a plaque. I mean, I know they got a lot more money, but I'm not asking for $3,000 every night. I'm asking for like gas money, $50 or something.
Your entry fee back.
Right.
So,
and I understand the local series have to make money to put on the event, to pay their people, because I've been on that side of before.
Now, are you talking every class, or are you talking like your A and your pro classes?
A little bit, like your A class, you're already getting a little bit, but like a little bit, like, I ain't saying paying everybody back, like maybe a couple B, couple C, just because, I mean, quads.
Yeah.
You're looking at what, $400 or $500 for a set of tires.
Yep.
Easy.
Yeah.
A-arm,
and then you don't even want to
shocks,
talk about tire balls or
right,
blocks.
all that stuff. I mean,
shocks.
We got probably $12,000-$13,000 in a piece of machinery.
Yep.
And we have to keep these things together all week. Like, I understand. Like, I truly understand. That plaque's cool. It sits on your mantle, but man, it just gets really expensive.
Actually, I don't want to sound terrible, but I don't even take the plaques anymore.
Right.
Like, I don't have any more like
in your room.
I don't have any room for them.
Right.
It's
they just go in a box.
It's not that I don't appreciate it. I'm not being like.
I bet you take a $50 bill though.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I put it in my truck to drive home.
Exactly. See, that's what I'm saying. Like, when did we, like, I don't know, like, this is probably way before my time. And
now, when we were at Pyramid Valley, Brandon, you remember as well as I do, like, we wanted people to come because when we were racing the A class, it was 100% payback for that class.
Right.
So the more people that were there, the more money that you and I got.
That's right. That's right.
Because you and I were cleaning house at that point in time.
Right.
Actually, I won the only money I've ever won racing at Pyramid Valley.
Really?
Because they used to have a small cross country series.
Yes.
Okay.
Way,
Yes.
way back in the
I
day.
won my only ever overall at Pyramid Valley
Nice.
cross country.
That was probably like what, 80s? No. Sorry.
Come on, man.
Nah, I'm sorry. I'm joking. I was starting to think. I was like,
No,
no,
it was 95.
95.
1995, because I just gotten the brand new 300EX with electric starter.
Ooh.
And we thought we were in high.
That was,
We
yeah,
thought we were in high cotton.
Oh, I'm sure. I'm sure.
Each start, man.
Hey, I got a little dig real quick. Mr. Clay Harvey just said that he was referring back to when you and I were racing, that he wouldn't recommend following you now because I might break a few ribs.
Yeah. Or go a lot slower than you used to. He threw me under the bus last night. There was they were giving away Jason Stewart with Action Off Road was on the show, and then he gave away a sponsorship to the camp. So we're going to create a contest for a kid to enter to win a free ride to the Action Off Road camp.
That's very cool.
And my son pipes up in the comments, says, well, maybe you ought to give yourself the scholarship because you're not very good right now.
That's very cool, though, the Action Off-Road Camp. If you want to touch on that just a little bit.
Yeah, so Action Off-Road Camp, and it is just an ATV-only camp at the Sportsman Preserve there down in South Carolina. And Action Off-Road, the company, puts on this camp, and almost all the pros go down and work with the kids for almost a full week. And they actually do it. It's very analytical because they take kids' lap times and they time them when they first get there, and then they time them at the end of the week. So they really can show the kids and the parents that what you've invested in, there's a product here. Your kid got faster. And just in casual conversation for the past 2 summers, talking with the families, a lot of dads and moms go back to that camp as the reason that their kid won a championship the next year. And the big thing about it is it's not just a camp where you go to say you went. Like, the pros actually spend individualized time every day with every camper. Like, it's part of the day. So it's not like you just go through drills as a group. Like, Adam McGill will spend time with your kid.
Yeah.
Jared McClure will spend time with your kid. Hunter Hart will spend time with your kid. And all those guys have different expertise on the track.
Yeah.
They're all better at something than the other one. So the kid's getting the best of each one of those riders that week. And, again, it's a great time. The kids have fun. And I think it's a worthwhile thing. It's going to be July 13th through the 16th. You can actually sign up online. One of the things that Jason Stewart and the Stewart family, of course, it's Stewart Boys Racing, but then Action Off-Road is the company. They allow families to make payments to pay for the camp.
Okay.
You don't have to pay for it all at once. Like, you can make 4 payments to get your kids signed up. And the other thing I like, I'm not saying they'll never cap it because they had almost 100 signups.
Yeah.
But they've not done that so far.
Right.
So it's open to everybody. So if you guys don't mind, I'd appreciate you guys helping get the word out.
Yeah, absolutely.
So we're going to do a contest next Tuesday night on the Life Behind the Pros. I'm going to announce the kind of the parameters on how you enter the contest. And then if you guys could follow up on Wednesday, push it out also, I'd appreciate it, man.
Yeah, that's no problem.
Yeah,
no problem
absolutely. Yeah, no, that's the exciting thing that they're able to do. And for somebody to be able to give it away and not have to fork that out, and to be able to give a kid an experience and something that's going to teach them and help them grow. I think that's pretty awesome.
100%. We're excited about it.
Yeah, that's awesome.
So, Brandon,
we there?
Are we there?
I don't know. Are we?
It's been a good show.
It has been really good. Man, it's been awesome having another guy in and talking, and it's been cool.
Yeah. So, I mean, hey, guys, if you've came and listened to this show for the first time and you're from the Hardcore Harvey Nation, we appreciate you having you. And if you don't know who Jeff Harvey is, which I don't know how you don't, but make sure you guys go over to his page and follow Life Behind the Pros. Watch his show on Tuesday nights.
Watch us on Wednesdays.
Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and then our buddies of the Bottleneck Live, whenever they're on, they're usually on one of those days as well. I mean, this is a cool time to be alive for content.
So when I first started doing this 3 years ago, I just did it as an audio podcast. And I didn't know what I was doing. I just thought, you know what? No one talks about anybody but the top 10 guys ever. Like
Right.
the rest, if it wasn't for the rest of us, there would be no pro row.
Right.
Right.
Like they wouldn't have a series for those 10 guys that come out there
Right.
and race. It's the rest of us that are keeping the sport going. So I just wanted to do something to recognize everybody. That's why we came up with the name Life Behind the Pros. But it's been cool because since then, and I'm not, by no means am I saying this is the reason, but there's been so many cool shows since we just started kicking it down the road, and you guys are one of them, and Mikey Wayne's and Bottleneck Live's another one. And now if you go on the GNCC page, there's a bunch of podcasts listed under that link.
Right.
Yeah.
So, and if you guys aren't on there yet, we need to get you.
Yeah, we're not on there, I don't think.
Okay,
Yeah, I don't think
so
we're on there.
we need to get you.
We don't know who to talk to get on
So,
there.
all right, I'm going to help you with that.
Okay,
So
we
we're gonna
appreciate that.
We're going to get Split Line Off Road on, part of the GNCC lineup also, so folks can click there and then it takes them to your shows. So
Awesome.
And what's really cool is each one of our shows, and we've talked about this, Brandon and I have talked about this, we've talked about it with Mikey and now you. Every show has a unique spin and a unique perspective. And this sport is big enough to where, like, you have your style, we have our style. Mikey and DQ are the gas station food style. And there are several other shows that have their style as well. I mean, next week we're going to have Luke Nestler on, and he has the industry, like creating a business and
moto
marketing. So everybody has their own unique style, and I love, like, I'm a fan. First and foremost, I'm a fan of all these shows. And
we listen to like everyone's
we
show.
do. We listen to everyone's show. Spending a lot of time on a lawnmower gives you a lot of time to listen to stuff. It's fun to be able to help promote other shows.
Right, sure. That's what I like about it. Like, we're not like, oh, don't listen to his show. Like, listen to our show only. Like, no, we're open.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean?
And that's like, in fact, we purposely tried to make sure that we were trying to plan a time that we're not trying we're not trying to compete with anybody.
Right.
For the folks who are more into just the ATV side of things, that's all we talk about.
Right.
You guys do awesome. You're talking about everything.
Yeah.
I mean, so you got both sides of it. So you have an audience and you guys talk more about Mountain State Hare Scramble. I talk more about East Coast Race Series, so it gives perspectives on those. I think it's great for all of us to work together.
Oh, it really is. And there are so many people that this is not just a hobby, it's a lifestyle. And that there's a lot of guys that like, oh man, we wish we had more content to listen to. Well,
where's our ESPN?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Well, we got your Split Line, we got your Life Behind the Pros. So
what I always say is, like, man, I drive a lot and I can listen to our show in 2 hours. I could probably pull up yours and listen to yours for a couple.
Yep.
What am I going to do the rest of the week? You know what I mean?
Exactly.
So listen, I heard one of your shows, and it was several weeks ago, that I really liked what you said, because you said something about where you saw yourself in 5 years or something, and it was you wanted to have a show that was similar to a network show that's already out there. So I think that's a great goal, man. I don't think, if we can keep up with the technology, there's no reason we can't do that.
No, and I think we were referring to the Pulp MX show.
Yeah.
And that's on the motocross side. And those guys have it dialed, and they have like
they're getting ready to go on MAV TV.
Yeah, they're going on MAV TV.
Yeah.
So and with all of us working together as teams and kind of co-mingling it around, and that's kind of how they are as well. Yeah. There's no reason to have like their bad blood or anything like that. Like, it's fun. And we, if anything, it's cool to see all the other shows, because it helps you push yourself. Like, man, like, we need to put more content out.
Right.
Listen, there's been times I haven't felt like doing it. I'm like, I bet Split Line's going to do Wednesday. Get off your butt, go do your show. But yeah, so that's a good thing. But also, we talked in your driveway before the show started. I really think, and Mikey Waynes and I talked about this too last night, that we can do some cool stuff if certain times we do as a group and not as individual shows. Yeah. Like, one of the things I think we can pull off here in the future, even if we just did it once before this season's over, we all pull together and we go do a live show and pick a race, cover the race, get people to help us with cameras between the program you use, the program I use. We can be live at the track.
Right.
And what's cool is, like, right now when we do it for the East Coast Series, we can't cover the adult race because I'm racing.
You're
Right.
racing. Yeah.
So more people being involved, we could spread that out. We could cover the adult race. We could cover the kids race. We could cover the motorcycles.
Yeah.
And offer people a broader what we're trying to do with just the kids. But it's going to take all of us.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it definitely is. Yeah. Which I thought that was cool. I wanted to call it like the round table or something.
Round table wrap.
Yeah, round table wrap or something like that. Just because it's like, big round table, get all the
Meeting of the minds.
yeah, something like that.
I got more of
He's
these.
got plenty. He's got
So
plenty.
there's a show idea that you guys can help kick around is I want to do this before the season's over. I want to do a legend show.
Yeah, we've been
And
talking about
And
that.
I want to get all, of course, ATV guys.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I want to get all the old guys together that were back in the day
Mm.
and just talk about how the sport has transitioned,
Yeah.
how much
Right.
it's changed.
We were actually talking with Walker Fowler probably last year. We want to get the past champions.
Yes.
This was
Forrest,
actually
Fowler.
Walker's idea.
Yeah, this is Walker's idea.
So he's on board. We just need to get a
Yeah.
few of the others on board, and he wants to
Bill
get
Balance and get up just
the four of them.
the four champions.
Yeah.
Put them on a table and like let's just go to town.
Let's
Yeah,
talk about
talk
the evolution of the sport. Let's talk about how each person approached races and how it's changed throughout the years. And
They're all
um,
kind of. We're thinking there's going to be a little bit of screw loose in each one of them. That's what we're thinking.
that's what
100%.
Walker said. He
Yeah.
said we're all a little bit crazy. So maybe that's something that we can all
Absolutely.
help get together and
100%, yeah.
it would be a lot of fun. It'd be a lot of fun. We'd have to have a lot of questions lined up. That'd be a show that we might actually have to prep for because Brandon, we kind of shoot from the hip a lot over
I
here.
get it. I get it. Yep.
Yeah.
I get
I
it.
mean, you see my notes.
Yeah.
You see my notes,
That's a quality index card, man.
right?
My notes consist of everybody's name that's coming on the show. That way I do not forget live on the show because that's embarrassing.
So no, I think there's a lot of cool stuff we can do both individually and collaboratively that, and again, because again, the Bottleneck Live, they're in the Midwest and
Right.
Yeah.
they're talking about, let's find a series that's in the middle
Yeah.
and let's all just meet there.
Yeah.
And even though you got to travel a little bit, do something different.
Right.
One of the things we're talking with Kenda about, and this is not a Kenda promotion, but about having a small Kenda team that is the purpose is to travel to more than just these two local series.
Right.
Yeah.
Go to OXCR, go to IXCR, go to XCCR, go to a Mid-East and have an opportunity to not only represent other series, but also represent a brand. But then at the same time, show people what those series look like because you can look at the results, but you don't know what how the track's set up, how the promoter does stuff different. And I just think it would be a cool show idea to be able to go out and do that.
Right.
Yeah.
And just represent and get to travel to different cities and experience that as a racer and be able to talk about it.
Yeah,
Right.
because at the end of the day, we talk a lot about the GNCCs, and that's what we primarily
Yep.
cover. But the grassroots racing is what has us in this room right now.
100%.
And it's cool to see you, especially devoting your time to really helping and promoting grassroots racing as it is, really.
Yeah, I'm totally with you guys.
Awesome, man. Cool.
So.
We
Hey,
got to plan something big.
yeah, we definitely do. Hey, thank you guys for listening. We are almost at 2 hours. It's
Hey.
because
Is that a new record?
no.
No.
Well, then we got to keep talking.
Oh man.
Man.
McGill has the. Well, do we pass McGill?
We
up?
passed McGill a while ago because here's the
Okay.
thing: we used to be like, "Oh man, we talked for 45 minutes tonight." Can you believe that?
Yeah.
And then now it's turned into like hour and a half. It's a
Yep.
short show,
Yep.
Right.
and we really didn't even mean for that to happen. But ever since we went live, which was a big leap for us in itself,
Yeah, we were so scared.
we were so scared to go live.
There's nothing better though. That's the way
No.
to do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah, get in
And-
there.
and let the audience interact and
Yeah.
absolutely 100%.
Yeah, because if we ever get an opportunity to jump in the Racer TV booth like you do, we need to be ready for live stuff. So, but it's been a great show, guys. And Jeff, again, thank you for coming in
Oh,
tonight.
thank you guys.
It's been a lot of fun. We appreciate the time. And Brandon has a good
Here we
exit.
go. Here we go. Yeah. Now you just ruined it.
We got
Hey, we didn't ask him the hard question.
we didn't
See? What's your
This-
favorite food and candy?
This will be quick.
fast
Okay.
food and candy.
Taco Bell peanut M&Ms.
Oh, okay.
We don't hear Taco Bell that often.
No.
And Taco Bell, people forget when you didn't have money, you went to Taco Bell.
No,
Yeah,
that's
because you
right.
get a whole case of tacos for $10.
Exactly. Don't forget where you
Dude.
came from, people. Taco Bell.
The $5 box is awesome.
Yeah.
You know what
Yeah.
I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Hey, Taylor would like to know what is wrong with her coverage of the adult race.
Oh, jeez.
Man, I didn't mean to bring you on the show to
Wow.
bust
If
you
I knew
up.
which one it was, I'd just hit it.
Yeah.
This has turned into counseling.
Yeah, that's right.
maybe. Hey, Taylor, we appreciate you letting us have him for the evening. And we'll let you take care of him when he gets home.
Awesome. I like the idea.
Yeah.
So, Brandon, break us down with the awesome sponsors we have.
All right, man, guys, listen, support these guys because this is why we're able to sit in this awesome studio that's not finished. We're under construction still, but
That's why you hear the echo.
that's right. Please support these guys because this is who supports us. And so first and foremost, I want to thank Guts Trick Seats, guys. That's what T stands for in that Guts. It's Greg's Ultimate Trick Seats. Go check them out. They're the best. That's what I use. That's what's on Rodney's bike. And I'm not sure what Harvey over there uses, but he should be on a Guts.
Should be on a Guts.
They're awesome. So go check them out, guys. Support them. They're awesome. Greg over there is a great guy. Seal Savers, guys. Mason over there, he knows his stuff. He's been running it. They've been around for what, 30 years, 20 years? 20 years, I think.
21 years.
21 years.
22 years now. Yeah.
Okay,
It's
there we
been
go.
around for a
Been
while.
around.
First
Check
and
them
original
out.
Fork Seal Savers.
Every time I think of those I think dollar signs. I think $30, then plus our 25% discount on top of it. It's going to get you a heck of a deal. Save your forks. You know what I mean? No one wants a leaky seal. They also do palm savers. If you get blisters on your hands, palm savers, foot peg savers. If you wear a watch while you're riding, they have a little saver for your watch. Go check them out, guys. Use that code SPLITLINE25, capital S, right?
Yeah, capital S.
Yep. And then, guys, Sunstar chain and sprockets, the best.
Absolutely.
You can
Hunter
use
uses
that
them.
one.
100%.
100%. Guys, they're awesome. I use them. Cooper uses them. Harvey uses them.
Absolutely.
There we go, man.
Harvey will use them twice in one day on 2 races.
Right?
Yes.
Yeah.
That's right. Dude,
Yep.
you can run them like,
And didn't even adjust the chain, baby.
that's
Exactly.
right. See?
No need
See?
to.
Awesome stuff, guys. So use a code SPLITLINE30 for over
Split
there.
line 30 for 30% off.
30% off of a chain and sprocket set. That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Can't do any better. The case hardened steel made by them. XC gear, guys. Mako 360 clamps. They're the best. All right. Get your vibration. Get a little arm pump. You know, I'm sure Lane was wanting that. A little bit less arm pump in that, so you might want to hook up with XC gear over there. But anybody, if you have some
Choice of champions.
Choice of champions, that's right, dude. You guys can customize them. You can get engravings done in them. I think Grant Baylor had one that says "Little Bro" on it.
Yeah.
You can do all kinds of cool stuff. They do mountain bikes with the hammerhead, and then also ATVs. A lot of guys don't know ATVs.
Actually, I've ridden them.
Really?
I've ridden a set. Yes,
Really?
they were on a bike that I test rode, and I gotta say they were good. I liked them. I
See?
did like them.
Speaking of those engravings, we need to talk to Lance about getting a split
Line on there. Yeah,
engraved.
that'd be cool.
That'd
Yeah.
pretty sweet.
That'd be sick. So, guys, go check out XC Gear, man. Lance is awesome over there. Hook that up. Once you get all that stuff on your bike, you can go Mountain State Hare Scramble racing. All right. Think about it. Turn the lights on. You see a bike with all that stuff. You're just like, dude, go rip this thing, right? So, guys, go over and hook it up with Mountain State Hare Scramble and have some fun and win some trophies.
Yeah. Hey guys, last thing, I'm going to be posting the GNCC fantasy tonight, so you guys will be able to see where you scored. Sorry, I was a little late this weekend.
See my name on the top.
Please,
Of the
somebody
overall. Of the
of the
overall.
overall.
Yeah.
On the overall. Somebody please
Third.
beat him.
Third.
Yeah. He's
Third
in the
round.
league.
Yeah, he's not Ben
Podium.
Kellying it like
Podium.
he would like to think he is.
Yeah.
Hey,
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
So
We all got a dream.
yeah,
I can't be Steve Harrell.
Speaking of Steve Harrell, thanks to Steve
Yeah,
Harrell for
man.
coming on the show. Thanks to Lane Michael for coming on the show. Jeff Harvey, thanks for being in
Yep.
studio with us. We appreciate you guys listening. Appreciate all the support, guys. And for episode 75, we are out.
Peace.
called you, and it's been a few months since I tried to. Maybe I'm scared I'll say the wrong thing. My apartment's been shaking from the weight of a heart that's breaking. Pretend I don't care, but it's killing me. I'd be happy for you if you say you're happier with someone else. I'll be honest with you, just the thought of it hurts like hell. Oh, this time you've been thinking I moved on, but you should know I waited for you. Even if I tried, I could never let you go. You should know I waited. I'm always waiting for you. I'm always waiting for you.